has informed you all that there is a storm and told you guys a tale about the reason why this is called the Wild Coast. They're not just regular storms that are said to go on here. He mentioned a phenomenon known as an arcane storm, which could be associated with one of the 7 schools of magic. And there was a wicked storm off to the south. Meanwhile, off to the coast, into the horizon to the west, you saw an entire armada of ships. These ships were being led by the Brazen Pegasus, and there are about a dozen on the coastline. The Brazen Pegasus, although it's not a warship by any means, it definitely has the speed to catch your ship, the Sturge. So you guys then had to make a decision, basically. Well, Black Balls, being the captain, had to make a decision, and that decision was to sail into the storm to avoid possibly being destroyed by an entire armada of ships that hail from Am, which is a region to the south of Baldur's Gate that's been in conflict with Baldur's Gate for the longest time. Obviously, the Baldur's Gate, like the citizens of Baldur's Gate, or at least the Flaming Fist, they have their say in Chult, and then Port Nyanzara is a major trade port between Baldur's Gate and Chult as well. So you can imagine that these Amnian vessels, they would have a vested interest in possibly taking out any ships that are from Baldur's Gate, or obviously wanting to put a stop to this illegal smuggling operation. It'd be very convenient if they were to capture any ships as their prize, because the Flaming Fist would have to expose themselves if they were to say that, if they were to retaliate against Am for such a crime. The Flaming Fist have an agreement with the smugglers. Of course, this would not look good for the Flaming Fist if that was ever discovered. So you guys are in trouble. But you took off into the storm, and it was quite wild for a little bit, and then it kind of calmed down. And just when you were in the eye of the storm, suddenly, with a big strafe of rain that barreled down onto the deck of the ship, came horrors from above, skeletons raining down in the middle of this necromantic storm. And you guys fought off dozens of skeletons that were attacking you. And just when that fight was over, it got even worse. An enormous dragon turtle, an undead dragon turtle, just bursts up out of the ground, and out of the ocean, sorry, not out of the ground. Dragon turtle zombie. This, you can see from the handout the size of this thing in comparison to your sailing ship. This thing is absolutely huge, and it basically tapped the ship. There was no real need to roll out that encounter because we were towards the end of the session, and to be honest, the dragon turtle only needs to hit the ship 2 or 3 times for it to be completely destroyed. It just splits the entire hull of the ship in 2 by tapping it with its nose. You can tell that there's something seriously wrong with this dragon turtle, because in the brief moments that you saw it, despite it being, it's still daytime when this attack happens, but there's the brooding shadows of the storm clouds above, kind of giving everything a bit of a dark tone, particularly with the necromantic storm. Everything almost had a bit of a dark purplish hue. You can see the dragon turtle's flesh is rotten. It looks like a desiccated corpse, really. There are massive holes in its shell. There are pockmarks in its flesh where it looked like crustaceans were living, feeding off of its rotten, dead flesh. Its eyes looked lifeless, and you only saw it for about 10 seconds as it bursts up out of the waves. It hits the ship, splitting the ship into, creating a maelstrom around the area with its movements in the waves. You begin to get sucked down into the ocean. Massive rolling waves crash down on you. If you try to swim up, they just pelt you back down into the ocean until inevitably you guys pass out. Probably thinking that this is the end of your adventure. There's no way you're going to survive this. According to the map, you're 60 miles from, well, I guess you're 30 miles from the nearest shore. But somehow, perhaps a god is looking out for you all. Perhaps it's your fate that you won't die here. You awaken at a time later. You can't be sure how many days have gone by, if any days have gone by. You look up and you can feel the warm sun beat down on you. It's quite bright, it's quite sunny, and you're on a beach. You can hear the sound of crashing waves, and it's somewhat peaceful. You've got all of your weapons and armor, everything you were carrying or holding is on you. You're going to be missing some people, and you're all going to be separated a little bit.
Oh boy.
So, everyone's kind of separated. Despite the events that just happened, everyone's actually in quite good health. Remarkably, no one has a single scratch on them. Not even a scratch. Petra, you're just laying on your back, and when you open your eyes, you feel a bit of a cool breeze and some shade. You can see through the gaps of the palm fronds of the palm trees that dangle overhead the bright blue sunny sky above you. The ground feels warm and soft. There are a few rocks here and there, and you have the pleasant sound of crashing waves awaken you. You feel perfectly fine, and you can easily stand. Bryn, you're just kind of leaning up against this small ledge. A cliff face about 25 feet tall. You can see some of the palm trees kind of leaning over their trunks bent, and a couple of coconuts laying around next to you. When you look up to your left, you see the destroyed hull of the sailing ship. The contents, the guts of the ship completely ripped out, the mast snapped, and the stern of the ship nowhere in sight. You're also perfectly fine. Avon, you're kind of waking up, coughing up a bit of water, and your visions are blurry. And the second you wake up, you have this instinct to just start swimming and get some air. You burst up to the surface of the ocean. Some very gentle waves lapping you back and forth, kind of pulling you back out towards the ocean, and you're not able to touch your feet on the ground, so you're just treading water at the moment. And you still feel fine, despite having some water in your lungs and whatnot. And did you say you have medium armor, even?
Oh, I have.
You've got light armor, yeah. It's Jasmine that's got the medium armor, right? Is it Jasmine?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay.
I don't know.
Alright, Jasmine, Yazo, and Hugh. You guys are basically being rocked back and forth, and it's almost like you're a newborn baby being rocked in your cradle. You're resting on a bed of driftwood that's kind of mushed together. The waves, the gentle waves, are rocking you back and forth, and You guys are a mixture of kind of your legs underneath the driftwood and your arms overneath some of the over the top of some of the driftwood, or kind of just sprawled out on this bed of broken ship components, mixed in with some nets and other supplies, a chest as well. And some of you spit out some water too. And Jasmine and Yazo, as you guys open your eyes, you also see Hugh next to you. Jasmine, you need to basically cling on to this wood, otherwise you'll sink. But Hugh actually, when he opens his eyes, he just smiles and he starts letting out this peal of mirth. We're alive! Thank Moradin! Ha ha ha! Hear his bellowing laughter just wash over the entire ocean.
Yeah, Jasmine clinging onto the netted raven with whatever supplies underneath the net. Really laughed. Yeah, we are here.
It's a miracle, Hugh says. I knew it. The gods are looking out for me on this day, and every other day for that matter.
That was one day there, one there wasn't.
Hey, I'm here now, aren't I, brother?
So, can we like paddle on the wood to get to get to the shore?
Yeah. You can make an athletics check. Shouldn't be too hard. There's not really a current. And
there's no waves to.
I'd be surprised if you couldn't make it. Put it that way. You'd have to be a seriously bad swimmer. Yeah, you can get there with a 7. Alright. So, Yazo, you start to paddle away. And you just get a little bit a ways with some of this driftwood. While you're doing that, Avon, what are you up to? What are you doing? What's your first instinct when you awaken like this?
Get to shore.
Sure. It's going to be an athletics check for you as well. It's not very difficult.
Can I go into the water and help Avon?
Sure.
Okay, I'll do that.
You can, you can basically stand in the water at about, this height before you have to swim. It's about, it's a bit of a drop off, and there is like some coral reef around this area, so the beach does drop off quite dramatically, but you can stand there comfortably, and when he gets in close enough, which he does, you can grab him and help him. I'll just leave you guys there just for a second.
Thank you.
Alright, Petra.
Yep.
It's, you're not gonna lie, it's a bit of a pleasant way to wake up, really. Nice warm sun beating down on you. You see the tropical palm trees above. You're on a beach.
Okay, so do I see them swimming?
Yeah, you get up and you don't even have any sand covering you. You've got no idea how you got all the way over onto the jungle terrain. And when you look out to the ocean, you see this glistening blue, beautiful ocean. And you see Avon making his way over to Bryn, and Yazo starting to paddle towards the shore.
Alright, so I will start heading towards the shore and try to help them out a bit. I'm going to toss out a rope to them as far as I can and tell them grab on.
Okay.
I'm going to tie it onto the tree if possible.
Sure, you can make a sleight of hand check. What type is it, a hemp rope or a silken rope?
Hemp.
Hemp, okay. You should be able to tie that up just fine. Okay, it's secure. Jasmine, what are you doing?
I just realized that, first of all, I get my balance, and then I spread my wings and fly to the shore.
Okay, you go into your angel form and... or they're like kind of like more like bat wings, aren't they?
Just think of a raven with a hue of blue.
Alright, raven wings. Alrighty, so these are beautiful blue wings, spectral wings, just kind of appear from your shoulder blades, and we'll just move you about here, and you're just 5 feet above the ocean. Alright, as you're flying off and everyone's doing their thing, suddenly Hugh is just burst. He stops laughing and then he starts to panic. Oh! Ah! And he sinks. And he starts to sink through the driftwood. And the current starts to take him out a little bit. Keep in mind, Hugh only has one arm. And he says, "Help! I cannot swim! I cannot swim! Ah!" He's splashing around like crazy.
Yeah, Jasmine with her face with that really like sort of almost dreaded look on her face, she sprints back and attempts to pick Hugh up.
Okay, alright, you just immediately turn back, and I'll just move you about here for now, Jasmine, because something else happens at the same time. Alright, I need everyone to make a perception check.
There's a shark in the water.
Exactly.
Sure does.
Alright, there's a gam of sharks. 4 of them. They're only reef sharks. So they like to stick around the shallows. And, yeah, they're hungry. They're darting towards you guys. 4 of them. One of them's going towards Bryn and Avon. And a couple of them are just kind of spreading out. They like to kind of dart around, and they can go into quite shallow water and try to segregate their prey. And that's not all. You're not alone in this
Dragon
jungle,
turtle.
Petra, because you hear a very loud roar and then these giant stomping footprints. You look over in this direction and you see palm trees getting flattened. And something pokes its head out between a group of palm trees. A Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Oh boy.
So,
I'm Petra.
Is it the real variety or the undead variety?
it's
Or can I
it's not a T-Rex zombie. Just a regular T-Rex. It ain't this guy.
It's original homeboy.
Alright, let's roll some
Let's make it a
initiative.
zombie.
Alright, that can be fixed. It can be a zombie. You just have to kill it first. Okay, it looks like everyone's fairly slow to react. So, the highest initiative roll is a 13 from Yasu.
Oh, Jesus.
Alright,
Alright, so just keep in mind, if you're in the water, then underwater combat rules apply, where you swim at half your movement speed, and certain weapons have disadvantage to attack. So you can use like a short sword, a crossbow, a dagger, a net, or a trident. And I'll give you a handout for those rules as well. I think we've already got them there somewhere. Here they are again if you need to see them. But basically, yeah, javelin, net, crossbow, spear, trident, dart are fine. Anything else would have disadvantage.
so I'm gonna use my funky mage hand. I'm gonna tie a rope onto Hugh, then bring it back to myself.
Alright, you cast Mage Hand.
Yeah.
Alright, that's an action to cast Mage Hand. Where are you casting it?
I'm gonna take the rope and tie it around Hugh, and then just bring it back so I can pull it.
So you're casting the Mage Hand next to yourself?
Yeah, that'll do.
Okay. Alright, you cast the Mage Hand, and the Mage Hand can you can use your bonus action to use it, I think, with your... Does it let you do things with a bonus action?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, you
just
can... You have a... You can... Yeah. What type of rope do you have?
Wait,
A what, sorry?
hemp.
Hemp rope?
Wait.
Okay. Yeah, it can grab the rope, but yeah, it's an action to move it as well, Mage Hand. So yeah, you it appears at a point you choose within range. It lasts for the duration or until you dismiss it as an action. It vanishes if it gets more than 30 feet away, and you can use your action to control the hand, using it to manipulate the object. So yeah, that'll have to be next turn because it's an
But it's
action
got the
to
rope,
cast. Yeah, you can hand it the rope with your interactive object. You can
Right,
hold
and
on
I
to
gotta
that
start
rope.
swimming. I think that's it. Slide the wolf.
Okay. Alright, I'll draw that rope onto hemp rope. There's not that much
Yeah,
difference between a hemp or a silk rope.
I moved to there, and is it a strength to lift up someone?
It's a grapple. You should be able to pick him up there, Jasmine. You can grab him. You don't need to make he's not going to resist. So yeah, you'll just grapple him straight away. He lifts up his arm and you grab onto him.
Yeah, and yeah, I moved back 5 feet because it took me 25 to fly there and whatnot.
It took 20, and then yeah, but now that you've got Hugh, you move at half movement speed as you take him. So you've just grabbed onto his arm and you've started to pull him out of the water, and he's just dangling down next to you at the moment. Alright, this T-Rex lets out an enormous shriek, so loud that it shakes all the palm fronds and causes small dinosaurs to run away. You see a few little plant eaters just immediately scatter, some herbivores. T-Rex stomps its way forward, lets out another loud screech, sets its eyes on you, Petra, and it starts rushing towards you with a dash action, ending its turn there with another mighty roar. Petra.
Right. I'm going to cast Mage Armor and going to use my Metamagic Extend spell to increase the duration.
Okay.
And where is?
Right, you've got a whole day worth of mage armor. Hopefully it'll protect you against a T-Rex.
What's better than nothing?
I've got an icon
And-
for mage armor too, actually. This one.
I have a feeling if I move, it will eat me. So I will stay right there.
Yeah, its teeth, its mouth can easily reach you from this 10 feet distance.
And I will call out to everybody else. I need a little help here.
I'm coming.
Yeah, so is Jasmine, but she's quite occupied at the moment helping you.
Alright, this reef shark actually darts straight towards Yazo, taking a dash action. Bryn.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to get out of the water, although I maybe like the sharks better than the T-Rex. Still think
Alright,
I should help out.
To get out of the water, you've got one square of difficult terrain. That's just like because you're in knee-deep water.
Right. So I have a little question: how do I get to where the T-Rex is? Because there's a ship in the way, and there's a height difference and
Yeah,
stuff.
You could like go around like this,
Right.
This ship is about it's about 9 feet above the ground. You'd have to climb over it. I mean, or the alternative would be to scale this cliff face, and it's pretty sheer. It would be difficult to climb. Easiest way would just to be to go around it like this.
Yeah, but then there's sharks.
Or depending on how badly the ship is, if there's wait up, let me.
There is a hole. You think you could try and squeeze through a hole like that? That ways.
Yeah.
That would be an acrobatics, so you'd have to
Yeah.
squeeze between bits of splintered
I'll try
wood.
to do that. I think I don't want to stay in the water with the sharks, and I think this is the best option. So I'll try to get through the hole. So
Okay,
that's
you can get through this
acrobatics, right?
section, or you can get through this section quite easily without any ability check. But to come through the other side, that's when you need the acrobatics. If you can make it that far.
Aren't you
Dash
holding
action
on
to get as far
even at the moment?
Sorry?
Aren't you holding on to Avon at the moment?
I'd be
Well,
letting go of
we're-
Avon
we're-
if he's moving.
Yeah, I'm letting go because we can both stand here, right? So
Yeah, he's fine.
he'll just follow
He's
me
fine.
when it's his turn. Yeah. Okay, so acrobatics check, right?
Not yet. You need to get up
Okay.
there first. I'm not sure if you have enough movement to actually. It's only this area you have to squeeze through.
Right. How did those? Oh, right, like that. Yeah, so I think I can get to the hole with my movement, close to it, and I want to dash to get as far as possible.
Okay.
I'll probably need to because the first square was difficult terrain, right?
Yeah, you can get there with a dash, and you can pretty much just get to this square.
Right. Well, I'll try that. Here's my acrobatics.
Okay.
Ooh, that's not good.
You move through the sundered hole of the ship, and you can basically see the interior is just being ripped apart. There are bits of splintered wood. A section of the mast is kind of cut through the hull, and you're trying to maneuver around, ducking and weaving and moving in between narrow gaps. And you get to the other side of the ship, Brennan. You're not able to actually. You need to also move your token. You're not actually able to squeeze through with a 10.
Right. So here.
Yeah, you're there.
Okay. Well, I guess that ends my turn. Yeah.
All right, this reef shark. They're actually pack hunters, and it goes for Yazo. It angles around behind him with pack tactics. It tries to bite him, trying to get some sweet dwarf meat, and it hits for 4 piercing damage.
Hang on, I'll do the It's just 4 piercing damage. I'll do the uncanny dodge.
Okay, you dodge it down to 2. The shark only just grazes you with a couple of teeth. Avon.
Okay. So it's difficult terrain the first movement.
You would have you'd have 2 squares of difficult terrain if you're going up this way.
That's 10, 20, 25, 30. I would dash. Get right there. Okay. I'm not to the point where I can try to get through yet. I
No.
don't think.
Nope, that would be this location. You can kind of see it on the map. There's a breach in the hull. Alright, now the reef shark speeds towards Yasu and tries to take a bite
Get
out
through
of him.
here.
These don't really keep their fin above the water. They just dart through the shallows and tries to bite him. And it hits for 9 piercing damage. You feel a sharp pain as the reef shark bites onto you.
No, didn't like that one.
Alright, Hugh was still panicking a little bit. I cannot swim! I cannot swim! Oh! I'm flying! He looks around. He draws his battle axe. And he points it at the shark. Take me towards them, beasties! He says. He's gonna ready his battle axe. Ready to hit a shark.
Okay, you're the boss.
Alright, this reef shark just darts towards Yazo, taking a dash action. And it skirts all the way around him. Oh, it does not get that far. It doesn't have that much movement. Alright, just gotta take it back a little bit. It gets up to there. Okay. Yazo.
So I ain't got time for these sharks. I'm going to swim to here.
Right, when you move away, this one is going to attack. Unless you're disengaging with your bonus action.
No?
Okay. And it chomps you for 4 piercing.
So I put my shield up. That will start to the start of my next turn, yeah?
Yep, you've got +5 AC until then, and the teeth just bounce off that shield.
Okay. Yeah.
Alright, you move away again, and both sharks snap at you at the same time with pack tactics. One of them breaks through your shield, chomping you for 5 damage. And the other one misses, its nose just bouncing off your shield.
If I use my action and my bonus action now to move as well.
Okay. Alright, so you've used, what, 10, 20?
20 and then my reaction.
Yeah, so you've used 20 feet. If you use a double dash, then you've got 75, so you've got 50 feet left. That would have been 15, and you're out of the difficult terrain now.
So how much have I got left?
You've moved 10, 20, 30, 35, 40. So 35 left. Alright, at this stage your rope is like run out, so you let go of it?
Oh no, the mage hands can bring it over on its own.
Okay. Also, you are letting go of it. It's only 50 feet.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, but if you get out of the 30 feet range...
Oh yeah, the mage hand disappears too. So the mage hand's vanished, and the rope's just fallen in the water.
Well, that's the end of that rope.
Oh, it's still there.
Okay. Here we go, I'm ready.
Alright, you run up to face the T-Rex. Jasmine.
I'm doing as what Hugh said, so I'm taking him to the sharks.
Okay. Are you dashing to get there? Because that would be 40 feet what you just moved.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
dashing.
Take a dash action. You fly up, and when Hugh gets in range of one of these sharks, he swings his battle axe. Gah! And he just splits. Well, he slashes the shark slightly with an axe. It injures the shark just a little bit. You've got 20 feet of movement left.
Yeah.
Alright, you keep on taking. Are you flying like up out of the water, or are you keeping him on the water level?
Yeah, I'm flying up and out.
Alright, you're 10 feet above the water now, and he's out of reach of the sharks, and vice versa.
Damn it, Hugh can't even pick up my rope.
I will when I get to shore. I'll haul her in.
Okay, that's all your movement. Alright, the T-Rex screeches again, and it seems quite happy now that it has 2 targets to attack. It's going to try and bite Petra. massive, razor-sharp, toothy maw just comes down at her. And
Oh no.
that
I'm dead.
just instantly kills Petra. That bites her head off with a single
Yeah.
attack.
Pretty much.
I'm running.
That's 68 points of piercing damage. All right, because of that, Petra. Did you have a backup character?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Well,
Ouch.
because you died so suddenly, I'll allow a character just to be a ghost. No, you'll actually rise up as a ghost for the rest of this encounter. But literally, this T-Rex just it bites Petra's head clean off her shoulders, snaps its razor-sharp maw onto her head, and rips it clean off. Her headless body falls on the ground, blood spurts out everywhere, and unfortunately, that is an insta-kill.
I kind of saw that coming for some reason.
Okay.
So what? The mage armor does not save you in this case, unfortunately.
No.
And but not to worry. It was expected. This is Tomb of Annihilation. To be honest, this is not the first time this has happened in this campaign. Well, not like that I've seen.
That T-Rex may not be done either.
It's not.
And he was on the ground as well.
It also flicks its tail at Yazo, spins around and hits you for 27 points of bludgeoning damage, Yazo.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna give you the ghost stat block, Petra. And immediately, like, just the fact that you died so suddenly against such a strong creature so unfairly, and you stood up to it, basically, immediately, you rise up. So, ghosts, the soul of a once living creature bound to haunt a specific location. Usually that held significance in its life. Just because of the nature of the death curse. This, and like you've gone out all the way in the jungle and you've made it so far to try and get this far without perishing, and then just to die so suddenly. It's caused your soul to temporarily stay on the material plane. You can feel something dragging your soul away. The soulmonger. You're struggling to stay in this existence. But it's going to be long enough for this encounter. And basically, you yearn to complete some unresolved task, and that would probably be to just kill this T-Rex, or at least help your friends escape. So, here's a copy of the ghost stat block. That's all yours. And, yeah. You are a translucent form that looks just like Petra, except you can see straight through you, and you got a bit of a blue tinge. You can read about them there. And, you're up, Ghost Petra.
Okay, so I believe I only get one
You can
attack
do some cool stuff.
Yeah, but I have
I've
to
been a
read.
ghost before.
So I'm gonna do Withering Touch for now.
Okay, I'll just move you up a little bit closer because you're going to go reach a 5 feet. You go up to touch the T-Rex, but I guess the shock of being killed catches you by surprise, and you end up messing with the Withering Touch as you look down to see your own headless corpse on the ground. Alright, these reef shark, they're just stalking the waters now. They don't have anyone to bite. They're just hoping for a snack. All right.
So I'll be trying to get through this hole again.
All right. You give us another acrobatics check. You almost got through, Brendan. You just kind of caught yourself on a couple of bent nails. 13 is enough, and you can squeeze through. It's one square of difficult terrain to get through there as well, to squeeze.
Okay. So at least we go there, and then I have another 20 feet of movement. So, wait. Yeah, something like that. And let's see what I will do to this creature now. That won't work probably. I'll just do Cloud of Daggers.
Okay. Which square would you like to put that in?
Well, let's say this one.
Sorry, I missed the ping. Which one?
Oh, sorry.
That one? Okay, yeah.
That one.
Oh, you've got control.
I'll move closer, by the way, to get. Yeah.
This one, right? This corner?
That's fine too.
Okay. You can move it anyway if you wanted to put it somewhere else.
Well, I said over here, so at this peak. Let me see, I have to roll the thing right. That's it. Let's see.
Alright, it'll take that damage at the start of its turn.
Right. Oh, right, of course.
The dagger starts spinning around, chomping through the T-Rex.
Okay, that's it. Yep. Wait, no, I can't do right, no, I can't because it's already a spell, right? No.
You do that inspiration or something.
Oh, inspiration I can do, right?
Yeah.
So I'll do an inspiration on. Can I do it in ghosts? I don't know.
I think so, yeah. There's nothing stopping.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll do it on Petra. Ghost
It's
Petra.
like, get him, Petra.
You're a ghost. This is awesome.
Okay.
Something like that. That's it.
Alright, the sharks are still just skirting around the water, looking for some easy prey. If you don't go on the water, then they're not about to exactly jump out on the land and get you. Even.
What type of check is it to get through?
Acrobatics, you gotta do a bit of squeezing here. Squeeze through a narrow gap in the breached hull.
Oh, bet.
And you get through easily. You get through so easily, it doesn't slow you down either. So no difficult terrain. You just like pencil dive through that shit. You contort your body in the perfect formation of the gap that's in the hull of the ship.
Yeah.
A bit closer. And for my bonus action, I will cast. I'm gonna cast spiritual weapon on the T-Rex.
Okay.
Let me
Where do you want to put the spiritual weapon?
right up there on land with him.
You can move it to where you want to put it if you want to have it somewhere different. That hits. The spiritual weapon just flies over and smacks into the T-Rex face, disturbing it slightly.
And I will cast Toll the Dead, big boy. Now that he's injured.
Alright, you hear the bell toll, and T-Rex screeches a little bit, but just kind of coughs and scoffs, and it doesn't affect the T-Rex. These sharks are not really a threat anymore, and I'm going to take them out of initiative. Hugh looks over towards the T-Rex and says, "Ah! Emma! Take me to it! Let's get ourselves some lizard meat! I've fought bigger dragons than that!" Hugh says.
Aye, Hugh.
"Onward and upward! And then downward a bit!" Pointing his axe towards the T-Rex.
Yeah.
Yazo.
So I'm looking a bit freaked out that Petra's been like munched and then like just sitting there like a ghost.
Yeah. Bit of
But I'm gonna run in.
Petra's neck's like a fountain of blood at this stage too, just psst, psst. Alright, you run in to face the T-Rex. And you sheath the rapier and fire. Stab it into its leg. Hit. Fire climbs up the T-Rex's leg and scorches its side slightly. And you also sneak attack it. And that's a decent injury.
I'll disengage. Yeah, I'm done.
Jasmine.
Yeah. I dash towards the end of Yazo's rope and then land and then dismiss my wings so then he's got a chance to move up to the T-Rex.
Alright, that's 60 feet where you are now.
Yeah.
And do you want to drop Hugh?
Yeah, and dismiss my wings.
Okay. Anything else? Alright, you're done? Alright, the T-Rex. It is going to screech and it looks a little bit confused with the presence of the ghost, but not really too interested in Petra anymore. Got a taste of that sweet, sweet Petra, and it basically swallows Petra's head and steps forward and whips its tail at Yazo again, trying to bludgeon him.
So I'll shield, obviously.
Did it take the damage of the
Oh yeah,
daggers?
the daggers. The daggers are hiding underneath. All right, it gets slashed up at the legs as well, and it's looking a little bit scratched up at this stage. All right, the tail comes around at you, Yazo, and bounces straight off with an enormous amount of force. It screeches again and steps here and it brings its entire face down at Bryn, trying to bite him.
Are you gonna attack of opportunity?
Yes. Focus from you, Petra. That hits. Alright, you just dart forward and push your ghostly hand into the T-Rex, and this little patch of rotten flesh appears on its thigh. Tries to bite Bryn. And it chomps Bryn for 26 piercing damage. As you're in its mouth, Bryn, it lifts you up off the ground about 5 feet, and you become grappled and restrained.
Dude.
And the T-Rex is going to end its turn there. The pain from that also caused you to drop concentration, Bryn. Petra.
Goes Petra.
So I will move there and try to withering touch it again.
Crit.
Payback!
Petra just flies straight up to the T-Rex, and this time you go for its weakness, which is its tiny little arms, and you just grab one of its arms and hold on to it, and all of the flesh starts to wrap tightly around its bone, and kind of looks like a dried chili as it withers up, and basically that arm is just dead now. And the T-Rex screams out in pain as you just rip that dead arm straight off of its side, and blood just bursts out like a fountain with this massive gash where its arm used to be in the T-Rex's side. 39 points of damage. The T-Rex felt that one. Bryn.
Let me see. There's not much that I can do, right? When I'm grappled, can I?
If you're restrained, it means your attacks have disadvantage. Attacks on you have advantage, and you can't move. But you can still cast all your spells like normal.
Right.
And the way to get out of that is by removing yourself from the grappler's reach. So if you can push the T-Rex away somehow, or you can move yourself like a Misty Step, you'll be able to break that too. Or you can use your action to try and escape with an acrobatics check.
Right. Well, I'll try to escape, I think, because there's not much else I can do that will get me free in
Do you have
time
a
to
thunder
survive.
wave or something?
Do I?
Thunder wave
Nope.
would push it away. Alright. You can
I
use
do
your
not.
action to try and escape if you like. It's athletics or acrobatics, your choice.
Well, acrobatics, I guess.
And what you do is when the T-Rex is like opening its mouth to take another bite, you quickly slip out in between its teeth and you land safely on the ground.
Is it possible to drink a healing potion as a bonus action?
It's an action to do that.
That's also an action, okay.
But yeah, you could do like a healing word or something.
Yeah, I would do that. I could do that as a bonus action, right? I'll do it at level 3 because, well, I need healing. So that's a total of 9, right? Yeah.
Yeah, 9 healing.
Okay. And that ends my turn, I guess.
Even.
Okay, I'm gonna fall back a little bit. Going to attack with the spiritual weapon. Bonus action.
It's a miss.
Damn it. And I will do Hold the Dead on the big guy.
Alright, this time the that weeping injury that Petra had created on the T-Rex starts to just kind of wither away, and this disgusting rotten hole is starting to cut through the side of the T-Rex.
Big guy. Oops.
It's looking bloodied now. T-Rex is definitely feeling these injuries, and it doesn't look like it's about to just run off either. Out of nowhere, Hugh just he runs as fast as his dwarven legs will take him, and he just runs straight up, starts to swing his axe around. Hey, pick on someone your own size, you big overgrown chicken! And he dashes to get there. Not scared of the T-Rex at all. Yazo.
Hey Hugh, watch this. I'm gonna tickle his belly with my rapier.
Alright, you use Tasha's Hideous Laughter on the T-Rex. And that does not work. Nothing happens to the T-Rex at all.
Do I use a spell slot?
It does.
Disengage.
Oh, it's got.
Yeah, it's doesn't seem really smart enough to get your joke. Yeah, so it wasn't a bad joke or anything. It's just
Like,
it's the
I don't get the
T-Rex's
point.
fault.
What's the point?
It doesn't have a sense of humor. A T-Rex.
I'll just see if it would work.
Jasmine.
Yeah, move up 10 and get my bow out and cast Hunter's Mark on the T-Rex.
Bam. Hunter's Mark goes on.
And yeah, fire a couple of shots.
Hit. A very well placed arrow straight in the T-Rex's neck. Another hit. And another well-placed arrow in the T-Rex's neck. The T-Rex screeches a bit and starts to flick its neck around wildly. It's very injured. What's your third attack for? Oh, it's not your first turn of combat. It's like your third turn now.
Sweet. But I spent most of the turns bringing Hugh back to land.
You did. It's still your third turn of combat, though. You only get the Dread Ambusher on your first turn. Alright, the T-Rex is looking pretty badly hurt, and it's gonna take a bite at Hugh. And Hugh just says, "Oh no, I regret everything! Ah!" And then the T-Rex chomps onto Hugh and picks him up. Hugh's still trying to attack it. And then it just very dismissively swings its tail at Petra because Petra's annoying it. And whoosh. Now I think do you have resistance to that attack, Petra?
I have damage resistance to non-magical attacks.
Alright, you're hit for 11 bludgeoning damage. The tail kind of just hits the force energy that keeps you real and doesn't affect you as much. And you're up, Petra.
So yeah, I'm gonna Withering Touch it again.
Do you want to use your inspiration?
Yeah, sure, because I'm not sure if that will hit or not.
Go for it.
It's a D8, right?
Yeah, that's a hit. 18 is a hit.
Yeah, it is.
And Petra, you're just basically just grabbing onto the T-Rex's back, and all these withering black veins of necrosis and rot are just causing the T-Rex's flesh to melt away, exposing its interiors, and it's very badly injured now. Screeches in agony. Bryn.
Yeah, I'll try vicious mockery on the T-Rex. I'll say something like, "Spit that out. That's not good for you." Yeah, something like that. And see, that does a little bit of damage.
Hugh chimes in. He says, "It's not wrong. You don't want to know where I've been." Alright, the T-Rex is looking mightily offended. Disadvantage on its next attack. And yeah, its mind is flooded with psychic energy.
As that being a cantrip, I will also do a healing word on you. And I'll do that at second level.
He says, "Thank you kindly. I'd give you a thumbs up, but Dragon got me thumb."
And am I out of range of the T-Rex right now? Because
no, its tail can easily reach you.
Okay. Then I'll stay here, hoping that he has enough people around him to attack. Okay, that's it. End of turn.
Ethan.
Alright. Spiritual weapon attack.
It hits. The spiritual weapon smacks the T-Rex in the back of the head. And you've almost rung down the beast. You followed up with a Toll the Dead. And that works as well. It's almost looking like a T-Rex zombie now with all the necrotic damage that's affected it. Alright, Hugh is going to use Reckless Attack. He's in the T-Rex's mouth, and he's just swinging his axe at the T-Rex repeatedly. Gah, gah, gah! Just trying to hack it to pieces. And he hits the T-Rex in the side of the face for 6 slashing. The T-Rex is staggering around, covered in injuries, close to dropping. Yazo.
Told you it wasn't good for you.
I think I'll carry on with the same sort of damage.
Alright, you drop a Toll the Dead on it too. And the T-Rex takes another 5 necrotic. And it's still standing. It's barely hanging on now.
Engage, don't if I need to. Then go ahead.
Sure. Jasmine.
Yeah, as Jasmine sees Yazo running off, sorting something out,
Not coming.
goes and takes another couple of shots.
It's a miss. And that hits. Just as the T-Rex is getting ready to flick its tail around again and swallow this dwarf, your arrow hits the T-Rex straight through its eye socket. The T-Rex lets out a roar again. Its jaw becomes limp, drops Hugh out onto the beach, and it just collapses, slamming down, breaking the mast into another piece, and resting here, dead, on this ledge.
Ooh.
So I'll pick up what's left of Petra and sort of start digging a hole, I guess.
$778 experience for that encounter. Alright, Hugh runs
20
over to
Yazo without the hunter's mark.
Did you get that, Yazu?
What's that, sorry?
He hit. Jasmine healed you. She healed you. For
Oh,
20
cool,
hit
thank you.
points. Alright, Hugh runs over to Petra as well. And he looks over at Petra's ghost and his eyes widen. What in the world? How's this possible? You're here and you're there. You look like you've seen a ghost. You can speak,
Yeah,
Petra.
this is weird.
Yeah. This thing got me. And I start punching it as I'm saying that.
Alrighty. As you're beating on the T-Rex, you can feel this irresistible force tugging at your soul, Petra. And there's no escaping it, unfortunately. The Soulmonger is taking your soul to be whisked away.
Yeah, as Petra, well, her soul, well, her ghost, starting to slowly dissipate. Jasmine says, even though I've known you for a short time, you kind of feel like a sister to me.
Likewise. But I rather you not see me like this, so I become I'd go for it.
I thought you were going to do your horrifying visage. I'd rather you see me like this. Blah! No.
I was thinking about it.
Alright, who's your backup character, Petra?
He is in. Let's see here.
Which one's yours?
He is Sorak.
Is it I Wanna Live? Is this your new character?
No, that's not him. It's the Solrac.
Solrak?
Yep.
Okay. Is he a barbarian?
The Elven brothers. There's a group of Elven brothers coming in.
Did you have any kind of sort of backstory for him that you can think of? It doesn't matter if you don't.
It was part of the whole brother thing, so not completely, no.
That's fine. I was thinking maybe you can just be like hunting around this area, trying to find a way to stop the death curse. Maybe perhaps someone from your tribe had fallen as well. Someone someone had died and the shamans couldn't bring them back. So something that would motivate your character to want to stop the death curse. Basically, we can.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe like I see your bond is like my family, clan, or tribe is the most important thing in my life, even when they're far from me. So maybe one of your clan members had been a victim to the death curse, and then you want to stop it. Basically, we can work on it more.
All our other backup characters are also from the same all elves, they're all brothers.
Okay.
Yeah, I could be looking for my brothers. They were in the jungle.
Sure. You will need to, I mean, you don't have to, but it would make sense if you're also trying to stop the death curse. It's the best motivator. Alright, and because there's a character death, we're going to take a 10-minute break. And we'll take the 10-minute break now, and then we'll introduce your new character when we get back. Petra, I'll set up your token and stuff like that. And we might cut to like a scene a bit later in the day when you guys are making for camp or something like that. So I'll see you guys.
Take a short rest.
Yeah, take a short rest. I'll just move you guys over to like another beach, and we'll like say that you're already like sent Petra off or something. You don't have to roleplay that unless you guys really want to. But I'll see you guys back soon, and you'll have a new character join you.
It's silent.
Hey.
Hey guys,
Hey.
how's everyone doing?
Yeah, fine.
It's relaxing music.
All right. So yeah, we're gonna have to introduce a new character, obviously. So what was the was there like a story that you guys came up with for the Elven brothers?
I believe that we were all brothers, and I think one of our parents died, and we were trying to bring him back, but the death curse was preventing it.
Okay, so it was like a.
We can
parent.
decide on if we were brothers or half elves and elves brothers.
Sure.
So I think we're half elves and elves.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're like, one parent is the main parent between all of us, and then we have like different mothers.
Okay. All right, we can like elaborate more on your backstory and get like a more of a plot hook for your character next session if you like. But that's the basic premise. You're searching for a source of this death curse. All right. Just before we get to this spot, we'll just say that you guys had just checked out the shipwreck, and you'd also laid Petra to rest, buried her at the beach, and you've taken a look at your supplies. Now, there is a problem. Your food, your insect repellent, it's missing. These essentials that you need to survive the jungle. No food, no insect repellent.
So T-Rex Barbie.
You can obviously get food that way, but I'm talking about your rations, like the rations that you had for another 38 days worth of travel. It's also I mean, you don't really need a fire to stay warm, but you do need a fire to survive as well. Just like Survivor. You guys are playing Survivor now. So you followed the wreckage along the shore, following bits of driftwood. And who's our leading survival expert here?
Let's see.
Bryn.
I'll make sure you guys get to level 6 by the end
Haven.
of the session too.
+3 and I'm the expert?
Haven
Yeah, no,
will be.
he's a survival expert, isn't he? Yeah.
Okay, good.
Alright, Hugh's also a guide as well. He's reasonably good at survival. But he's as you guys are like going along the beach, Hugh's actually kind of staying along the jungle line. I mean, there's not very much beach. It's a bit of a phenomenon, really, where the ocean meets the jungle. There's very few places that actually happens. Cholt is one of them. But there's not very much beachhead. It's about 30-40 feet of these nice golden sands, and then it just enroaches onto the thick jungle to the north. You can see a few mountains around in the horizon, but the jungle canopy kind of blocks out your view. And obviously you're going to want to know where you are on the map, and you're going to want to try and find the rest of the ship. So give us a survival check, Avon, please. Good. That is good. Alright, it's a nice dry and sunny day. As you guys know, you're in the dry season. And you take a look at the map as you're walking. Hugh's checking out the jungle. He's he's not kind of with you guys entirely. He keeps on looking. It's like he's looking for something. You take a look at the surrounding mountains and the coast. and Avon, you're 99% sure that you're in this hex. From the formations of the mountains. You feel like these are the mountains you can see about, 5-6 miles away. When you look out to the north, you can see some mountains in this direction too. So you put yourself here on the map in this hex.
I see a mine. I'm a dwarf.
There is a mine on the map, very close. It's about a day's journey. But the important thing is, at the moment, you guys need to find your supplies, and you need to start a fire. So,
Of my green flame blade?
that doesn't catch things on fire. The green flame would just do nothing to wood. Firebolt would work. Fireball.
Sacred flame is radiant.
As you guys are thinking about that, and you're moving your way along the coast, like heading eastward along the beach, Solrak, you've been searching for a source of the death curse, and as you've made your way around the Shilku Bay area, you have seen a shipwreck. You've seen like the broken hull of a ship just kind of cast up against these rocks, and you've climbed up on these kind of mold covered little stony cliff face here, and you've just started to investigate the ship when you look over and you see a group of adventurers that look like they've been washed ashore, trudging along the sand.
I by the way, found out that prestidigitation also is able to light or snuff out a candle, a torch, or a small campfire. So I think that would be able. I would be able to make a fire.
Awesome. So who wants to go and collect some kindling?
Oh, I've got my background might help with that.
Hugh volunteers straight away. As soon as anyone tries to volunteer, he imposes himself. Allow me.
Requested.
I'll get the firewood. You've got me trusty battle axe. It's good for cutting wood. I'll get some firewood, I'll get some kindling, and I'll cut off some meaty steaks from that T-Rex. We'll have a fire, we'll camp out, and I'll catch up with you shortly. And straight away, he will insist if you say otherwise. I mean, unless someone else really wants to do it, Hugh is going to go and do that.
Thanks, you.
No problem. Hey, that's what I'm being paid for. He runs off.
Are we paying him?
I'm
Maybe
there.
you think so.
He was hired
Any of us are.
by someone. None of you guys. Everyone that hired him is dead. No, actually, Orion would have hired him as a guide. Hugh was met in Port Nyanzaru, and there were many guides offering their services, and Hugh was one of those, and he wanted you guys to actually find this mine of his. 3 years ago, he was part of this dwarven expedition, seeking to reopen Wormheart Mine. The expedition encountered Tinder, a red dragon, and Hugh was the only one that escaped, only after the dragon bit off his left arm. He's wanted to return to the mine and slay the dragon, but he needs a band of stout-hearted adventurers to help him. And he said that if you hire him as a guide, he'll lead you wherever you want, but he was caught basically trying to take everyone to Wormheart Mine. And he did say that he would, he'd work for free. He charges 5 gold coins a day, expects a 30-day payment up front. And you've actually, Orion, wherever he is, obviously these people are missing. This was like Hugh's calling card.
Your house with us as well?
Okay, as long as it is Orion's problem, it's fine with me.
Yeah, obviously, Dragonbait, Orion, and oh, Millhouse is here now. How?
Yep.
Oh, how long have you been here for? Did he just get here now?
He's been here since before the break.
Oh,
Like after the break, he came in.
all right. Okay, well, you found him now too.
He's still playing the rogue.
Sweet.
You can
You
take
can
your long rest,
long
Millhouse.
rest, Yeah.
What happens, Millhouse, is you found yourself washed up on a beach and you've just been trudging along the beach hoping to run into someone. I'm going to start you off down here. And, alright, so, alright, Hugh's headed off and you guys are finding a suitable place for shelter. And this place looks pretty good. You've got the beach nearby, you've got cliffs kind of protecting you so you're not too exposed. You could see things coming up and down the beach and whatnot. Do you feel like this is a good spot? Well, Avon says this is a good spot with his survival. And then as you've arrived, you look over and you actually spot the other part of your shipwreck, and that's when you see Soulrack. So how do you guys react to seeing someone here and investigating the broken hull of this ship?
I'm quite impressed. He's standing on that mountainside.
Hey, it's better than another T-Rex.
Yeah. Yeah. Even though Jasmine is at this point sort of having a PTSD, except for having one of her friends' head bitten off something else. Like she goes,
Standing next to her.
she stays pale as white as a ghost for a little bit.
Well,
Jasmine has PTSD about heads being bitten off, so whenever someone's head gets bitten off, it triggers her.
okay. Interesting character flaw.
No, like
Oh yeah,
Okay.
seeing that...
anyway, something happened to Jasmine in the past and it sort of re-triggered her, but her face has just gone pale, rethinking, almost sort of like reliving that situation.
Jasmine, are you okay?
As they're doing that, I'm just investigating this, pretty much to see if there's anything in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm okay. It's just that was quite a fight back there.
Yeah, it was.
Yes.
Very sorry about Petra.
Now, I presume that you guys would have been discussing this as you're walking along the beach rather than... This is about a couple of hours later now, where we're at.
And we're waiting on Hugh to come back with some T-Rex steaks and wood.
Yeah. And
I don't know about you guys, but that guy over there, if my eyes don't deceive me, he looks pretty native. Someone like that might come in handy. Should we invite him? Make some type of
Who doesn't like T-Rex steak?
to welcome him?
We could ask him to join us as long as he's cheaper than the dwarf.
Yeah, but the wolf.
I don't think the dwarf's getting paid anyway, but hey, he doesn't need to know that.
I think he was already paid, actually. He was paid up front
well,
I
by...
paid him a solid potion. That was
Alright, I didn't realize Millhouse was here, so just rewind a little bit. Alright, so as you're walking along the beach, Jasmine reveals that she's a little uneasy and whatnot. And then Hugh's run off to go get the firewood. And before you've encountered Soulrack, you've seen Millhouse first. Millhouse has just been wandering along the beach, and finally he's spotted you guys about a mile away, and vice versa, and then you've come and met up with each other. So Millhouse, the last thing you remember is the ship being broken in half by an undead dragon turtle, and you've been sucked down into the ocean, and you woke up without a scratch on you on the beach with everything that you're carrying and wearing. And You're still defenders with you as well. So when you catch up to everyone, Millhouse, you notice that some people are missing. And what do you say? What do you do?
Well, some of us are missing, but I'm honestly quite surprised I floated wearing this armor.
Well, you've got no explanation as to how you survived. You're on the beach, a good about 20 feet from the ocean. You weren't even wet. You had a little bit of sand in your hair and not a single scratch on you.
Well, was anybody else injured?
Me?
Are you asking that like when they were washed up, or are they injured now?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're saying like when you were washed up, were you injured?
Oh, we managed to escape the sharks.
Yeah, actually, I was fine. I don't know how, but then the T-Rex happened, so I wasn't fine anymore.
Who's that strange man over on the hill?
I'm gonna mage hand a wave at him.
Do you want to describe Soul Rack for us, Carlos?
Sure. Pretty much, you see a very buff, tan person. You can probably see the ears that they're a bit pointy, so you might be able to tell that he's an elf. He carries a maul on his back, and he has on, I believe, scale mail. Let me just double check. Yep, scale mail. And he's just pretty much, his hair is black with some white streaks on it, looking like he's been through quite a bit. And currently he's looking through this wreckage, seeing, not sure what he's trying to see, but he's pretty much searching through this wreckage right now with his back towards you guys.
Yeah, you're probably looking for like supplies or just to see like what happened here. And
Yep, supplies usually.
yeah, you do manage to find the rations. You find a big bag.
Also take out a mage hand and wave.
Alright, you look over Sorak and there's like an invisible hand waving at you from Yazo, which you can't see.
You have to make it invisible.
And then
you have to make it invisible.
okay, and then another one. There's people waving at you with mage hands.
Would I be able to notice that he's elvish from here?
Yep, no beard.
Yeah.
Well, I would call out to him in elvish. What brings you here?
I will reply back in Elvish, looking for supplies, of course. It looks like this shipwreck is newish.
Yes. My knowledge just yesterday, but it could have been much longer. Strangest thing happened. We woke up and were perfectly fine. Just had to make it to shore. That's when we were attacked by T-Rex.
You mean you people were on this ship and lived?
We did live.
Apparently we did. I say in Elven as well.
Okay, guess these supplies that I'm looking at are yours.
Yeah, it looks like this is the cargo hold. You found not only the food, but also the insect repellent.
Well,
I'm gonna start hauling it out.
We recently lost a party member. There's no reason we can't make those supplies ours, including you.
Yeah, there's safety in numbers.
These
That sounds
jungles,
fair.
these jungles are not forgiving.
May I ask, what are you doing in the jungles?
We're doing just about the same thing we've run into everybody else.
Getting rid of that curse.
Jasmine looks up with a tear in her eye and says to that like on rock in common, figuring out that Avon was sorting it out as well. If you're here to sort out Death Curse, if you want to join us, you can. And she goes back. She puts her head back down and still scratches in the one spot, curled up in a ball partly.
I take it not all of you survived this wreck then, and I start pulling out the supplies and putting them on the stone here.
Okay, make an athletics check, Solrak, just to climb and do some athletic stuff. You know, climbing, grabbing those supplies, and yeah, you're no problem at all.
Balls.
Climbing that. You can navigate all these rocks with ease. Alright, you pull out the supplies, and everyone here is probably getting kind of hungry. Hugh's not back yet. Everyone's actually starving. So you guys see all your food up here, and you just dream of having it in your mouth instead of being up there.
So yeah, I'm gonna try to, I guess, go. Let's see, like around here, so I could start lowering it down here.
Sure.
Yeah.
You can grab it and you can navigate the rocks, no problem at all.
Can I get close enough for my mage hand to get some of the food?
Sure.
I'll grab a mango.
Alright, you guys take the rations, and you hear something now coming from the north. Ah!
Does it sound like you?
Make a perception check.
I know you when I hear one. That's you.
My perception is just to tell if it's a dwarf.
You look over to the north, and you don't see anything. Ah! You hear it again, and you still don't see anything. Ah! It gets louder. It's Hugh. Ah! And Hugh comes running, and he's just sprinting from the north. Run! He yells, and chasing behind him is an army of angry wasps.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Feel free
Yeah, I
to
run towards the water.
feel free to move back a little bit if you want, but these wasps are absolutely massive. Each one is about 3 feet long, and they're very angrily buzzing towards you guys. Each and every one of them chasing Hugh. And
They're
Hugh's
big ones.
just running back.
So,
Where's our
So
insect repellent?
Get close to me.
He's got
so they're about the size of a small child, roughly.
pretty much. And Hugh just has like he's got firewood in his arm, and he's got all these just bloodied stakes just slung over his shoulder as well. And he's got like a wasp nest kind of dangling behind his leg. And he's just screaming and running at you guys as he bursts through the forest. I'm going to roll initiative.
Those will make good eats.
And yeah, there's a decent number of
That's a good pop.
these wasps. And they're coming in with their stinger tails. They start to spread out when they see you guys, and they don't all just focus on Hugh. They do fly down to merely reach. and one of them tries to sting Millhouse. And it misses. Another one buzzes in very quickly towards Solrak and tries to sting Solrak. And the stinger tail hits you, Solrak, and you need to make a con save against poison. Alright, this thing, I guess it's not your day, Solrak. It sticks into you, injecting you with this numbing poison. Take 15 damage. And it doesn't do anything else. Doesn't actually poison you or anything. Another wasp spreads out and just darts towards Bryn, tries to sting him. And it hits. And you need to make a con save against poison. And it hurts. This numbing poison, this paralytic poison, just floods you, Brennan. You take 20 points of damage from the wasp sting.
Not good.
Hope you're not allergic. Another one buzzes in, and this one goes for Avon. And it's a miss.
Oh.
Brent.
I have to adjust the hit points. It doesn't work normally, so I did it in my character sheet. Yeah, I took out my crossbow, but that won't work at close range, so I'll put it down and take out my rapier and try to hit the wasp that hit me.
Okay. Hit.
Nice.
You pierce the blade into the wasp, and it hurts it really badly. The wasp is almost dead.
I would like to do Fish's Mockery. Wait, no, that's not a bonus action, right?
Yeah, that is an action.
That's an action, right? In that case, I will just Healing Word myself. And I'll do it at first level. Okay. That's it.
Yeah, so.
Can I use my interact object to put a potion of healing into my mage hand?
Okay.
And then I will... I'll attack the one next to Hugh.
Crit. Alright, you absolutely destroy the wasp. You stick the rapier straight through its face. The green fire engulfs it.
That's the splash as well.
Onto which one?
Northern one.
There's two of them. This one and this one. They're both to the north.
First.
Alright, that green fire jumps onto the wasp and burns it away a little bit.
And I'll disengage, and that's my last bit of movement there.
Jasmine.
She just stands up, grab her bow, and shoot the one straight in front of her.
This guy.
Yep. Bonus action, Hunter's Mark.
$13 is a hit. And the arrow hits the wasp and cuts through its wings and some of its flesh, and it's almost dead.
Second one.
$7 is a miss.
Dreadbusher.
Hit. The arrow cuts into the wasp and just sends it flying. Sticks into the ground like 30 feet away. Hugh runs up to you guys. He drops everything out on the ground. And then he turns around and he goes, "Aha! Tricked ya!" He says to the wasps. And he just, he runs at this wasp here and recklessly attacks it with advantage. And he slashes into the wasp, but 7 damage is not enough to take the creature down. Avon.
Okay.
Alright, Spirit
Look at
Guardians
these things.
goes on. And 15-foot radius, swirling scales of justice surround you. And creatures will make their save at the start of their turn.
Any bonus action? Do you I think so?
Yeah, I don't think clerics usually have much they can do with a bonus action if they've already cast a spell. It's not a cantrip.
Yeah.
Millhouse.
This one.
Alright. Pull out your
Big
trusty
damage from big crit.
scimitar. Big hit. Slash off one of the wasp's wings. It's looking bloodied. You slash it again and you cut it in 2.
It's much better.
Much better. Then you need a crit for that one.
Yeah, the regular attack is way better than your crit. Alright, Sanic comes up and tries to bite the wasp, but he misses. The wasp is going to just try and sting Sanic back. And the stinger tail actually pierces into its metallic form. It takes 8 points of damage. And it's not affected by poison. Right? It's got to be immune.
Does not compute.
Yeah, of course. Immune.
Yeah. That would be weird if it wasn't. Alright.
Well, actually, it does. It doesn't. Oh, yeah, there is damage. Yeah, poison.
Construct should be immune to poison and exhaustion or something. Okay, this wasp buzzes in towards Millhouse and does its stinger. Miss. And this wasp stings Hugh. Ah! Hugh cries out. Being a dwarf, they have resilience against poison. And he takes 3 poison and 4 piercing. 7 points of damage. Hugh's slightly injured from the fight earlier. He didn't rest. He was out getting these supplies. But he's still looking okay. He's like above half health. He's not bloodied yet.
We haven't rested yet, is that right?
You guys have rested, yeah.
Oh.
And this wasp is gonna buzz over. Wait, Yazo, you're not resting now.
No, I mean, is it a short rest or is it a long rest?
You're not resting. You're in the middle of combat. If you didn't rest earlier, then it's too late. You can't rest in the middle. You can't gain your hit points in the middle of combat. And you also need to burn hit die for that too.
Can I do that? But I didn't know if it was a short rest or a long rest.
It's too late now. You haven't. We took a short rest earlier, and people were rolling hit die. But if you haven't done that, then you can't do that in the middle of combat.
Okay.
The wasp flies over towards you, Yazo, and tries to sting at you. And it hasn't started. No wasps have gone to the Spirit Guardians yet, even. You don't need to roll that.
I thought the...
That's this guy over here. Alright, the stinger misses you. Solrak.
Right. So I am going to I'm going to rage. And I am going to Great Weapon Reckless attack this wasp. 17.
Hit. Alright, you swing around the mall and you just squash the wasp flat against the beach.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm gonna do the same to this one.
Hit.
8.
Alright, you swing the maul around again and you just... The impact of that maul hitting the wasp just kills it instantly and sends it flying.
And I have 5 more feet of movement, I believe. Actually, I have more than that. I have 15.
Yeah.
I have a 40 speed.
You got 40 is
So I will
above
move
everything.
here, and I will do bonus action to attack him since I
You
killed
used your
the last
bonus
wasp.
action already.
Was it?
Yeah, it's a rage. It's a bonus action.
Age.
Ah, that's right. Yep, that would be it for me.
Alright, the wasp is going to make a wisdom save. And what was the first damage that you rolled, Avon? 15. Alright, the wasp is dead. The spirit guardians melts it away. Alright, roll again, please, Avon, for spirit guardians.
Okay.
And the radiant energy just melts the wasp away. Its wings melt and all of its striped flesh just explodes into all these little pustules of radiated flesh.
Thanks, David. That helped a lot.
Right.
I will move over to the nearest giant wasp and try to hurt it with my rapier because I don't have that much spells left.
11 is a narrow miss. The wasp buzzes up out of reach of your rapier stab.
Yeah, I'll. Okay, I'll do a healing word on myself again. Two. Yep, and that ends my turn.
Yazo.
So I go there. Attack this one.
That's a hit.
Is that for the enhancement?
The what, sorry?
The wheelhouse enhancement.
Yeah.
Is it a plus 1?
You destroy the wasp. The sneak attack, you get it straight in its beady eye. Wasp is dead.
Okay, then I go. I'll just stand around here.
Jasmine.
I shuffle a little bit over and sit at rocks in between Millhouse and Bryn.
Are you transferring your hunter's mark?
Yeah.
Okay. Oops, wrong one. That's Hex. Alright, you mark next wasp. It's a miss. And another miss. The arrows just go beside the wasp. Sticking
Now I
into
know
the
you're
beach.
not fine, missing twice.
Luckily you don't hit Bruno Millhouse either.
Yeah, like I just make sure that I go wide enough that I hit the wasp, but yeah, make sure it's wide enough. If I miss, doesn't hit him.
And arrows are now sticking into a palm tree just up the ways. Hugh is just screaming, "Yeah! You fell into me trap, you bastards!" And he's recklessly attacking this wasp. I planned this all! And he misses. Avon.
Okay, I will scoot forward. Right there. I think that's gonna get. Oop, nope, one more. And I will hold the dead on the hurt one.
And it's dead. It withers into just a husk. Nothing left of it. Millhouse.
The only one left. Millhouse will take it out.
Millhouse uses his trusty scimitar, and it's not very trusty because that misses. You swing again, you clip the wasp, and you slash through it, and you start to see the spirit guardians melted away. Sanic comes in, jumps on it, and just explodes the wasp with the force-empowered rant. Look around, and there's no more wasps. So, that's the end of that battle. Back to the relaxing music.
So, Hugh, was it also your plan to have a wasp nest being attached to your leg?
Nope. That was a complete and utter act of buffoonery. But look, I've got stakes. I've got wood. And hopefully these discrepancies have outweighed the fact that some of you are probably going to be afflicted with shivering sickness now.
Your dwarf is weird.
Shivering what?
Just as he says that, everyone that was attacked and hit by a wasp, everyone who was bit by a wasp, needs to make a Constitution save against disease. Nothing. Forget I said anything. And Brynja, you've got this like little welt on your arm or whatnot, wherever you got bit, and you feel fine. And he just dismisses that notion that you've got some sort of shivering sickness. Forget what anything I said.
I'll start a fire.
Do I know if the wasp nest he stepped in has honey or in it or anything that's edible?
No, wasps don't. Yeah, wasps don't have honey. But yeah, the nest is basically just like this very soft, papery material, and yeah, there's not going to be anything nice in there, except for baby wasps.
I'll burn the nest on the fire.
Okay. You guys take the wood and start up a nice fire. Put the wood down and turn it into a fire. Hugh's gonna check on these T-Rex steaks.
I'm gonna do some mending on the Steel Defender.
Can I take a short rest?
Yeah, everyone take a short rest if you like. It's getting it's like sunset now. There's this beautiful orange and a red hue in the horizon, casting down beautiful sunset on you guys, and you can smell the smell of burnt meat waft the air as Hugh's just burning the shit out of these steaks. I like them like that, nice and chewy and black.
Could I have taken mine off before that?
Make a survival check to see how well you cook. Yeah, you start to see them burning, Solrak, so you can use a stick to just poke one of them and take him out. What's the matter? Charcoal's good for you. It's healthy. It has many good properties.
You dwarves in your minds.
What's the matter? Are you afraid of a little bit of charcoal? You look like some gruff barbarian.
I rather taste the meat than the ash.
You didn't kill the T-Rex.
You fought a T-Rex?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We almost won.
That's interesting.
I hope there's not many more of them around here. But just in case, I can make a little hut that we can be safe in tonight. And I create a Lehman's tiny hut
Okay.
when it gets dark.
Oh, yeah, it's starting to get dark now. And alright, you start your tiny hut. It's been about another 3 hours at this stage, and Bryn, I need you to roll me a 2d6, please.
Okay.
Alright, you put up a tiny hut. And you've all eaten now, and yeah, you feel like it's best to just rest for the rest of tonight and then start a new day of adventuring. As you guys are sitting around in the hut, you've put the fire out, and you've got your bellies full. You're getting, you've still got another couple of hours before you're probably going to go to sleep, and you're just telling stories and whatnot. It's very comfortable in the hut, and you no longer feel the intense humidity. It's very nice. It's probably also pitch black for some people here too. Who doesn't have dark vision, actually? Wait, does everyone have dark vision? I think absolutely everyone has dark vision.
I do.
Okay, good.
First.
Alright, Millhouse, yeah, actually, yeah, that's the other thing. You guys need water. Now, I think you guys need a lot, so hope someone's got a spell slot spare.
Can I
we
use
boil-
water?
Can we boil the seawater?
You cannot drink seawater, that will kill you.
If you boil it, though.
That doesn't fix seawater. It's salt water, so... If it was fresh water, you could drink it, but the seawater, yeah, you can't drink that, otherwise you'll get very sick. And, alright, Soul Rack. Yeah, there's no streams nearby. You'd have to go out looking for water. You'd have to go into the jungle. And it's a dry season, so you don't expect to find any fresh water in the area. You can, however, find some berries and, there's enough food. But, yeah, given the fact that you're on the coast, there's not going to be a source of fresh water.
That's fine. I find berries and stuff to extend our rations at least.
Yeah. You can complement Hugh's delicious T-Rex steaks with some nice berries for dessert and things like that. And
There's good berries.
you can get 8 gallons of water, Millhouse, but yeah, someone's gonna... Does anyone have create food and water?
I don't have it memorized for some reason.
Okay.
I don't have it prepared.
Then, if that is the case, then you need to divvy up your 8 gallons of water. I believe you guys need... who's wearing a medium or heavy armor? How many people?
Me?
I have medium, but I have 3 water skins. I don't know if that means anything.
Yeah, Jasmine does.
I'm also wearing medium.
Okay, so it's 3 people with medium. Alright, so
I have
that's
light, I think.
2, 4. So it's all medium armor, right? 2, 4, 7, 10, 13, 15. So you guys actually need 17 gallons between yourselves. And you've got 8. So, that's 9 gallons. So 4 people are going to have to be going without water. Who's that going to be?
I will.
Well,
So Avon volunteers to go without water. So that brings it down to 15 gallons. Sorry, 14 gallons needed.
14. Yeah, Jasmine will also go without.
That brings it down to 11 gallons needed. So one more person without medium armor could go without it, and then the rest could have enough. Or
Has she got medium armor?
2 other people are going to have to go without water today. So who's going to forego? Hugh will say, "Bah! I'll go without water. I don't need that." And yeah, he wears hide armor, which is medium. I'll do it. That's what you paid me for. I don't need water. Pah! You know, I once went an entire month with drinking nothing but ale, and look, I'm still here. Alright, so those of you that did not get water, you need to make a Constitution saving throw. Disadvantage as well, because you're wearing medium, if you're wearing medium armor. Alright, even you deal with dehydration just fine. Jasmine, you're going to wake up tomorrow not feeling very great. You're going to have like kind of lethargy, blurred vision a little bit. 1 level of exhaustion. It's not that bad. It's disadvantage on ability check, so it's not the end of the world. And let's see how Hugh deals with dehydration. So it's just Jasmine's going to be feeling not that great. Then there's something else as well. It's Bryn. Bryn, you you have the worst sleep that you've ever had in your life. You wake up with a fever. Your vision is blurred. You're disorientated. It's a sudden drop in your body temperature. Uncontrollable shivering and chattering of your teeth. And when you guys wake up the next morning, everyone except for Bryn has their long rest like normally. Bryn, you gain all your spell slots back, but there's a couple of things wrong with you. You're sick. You only regain half the number of hit points from spending hit die, for starters. And you gain no hit points from your long rest. You also have disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls. Yeah, you're badly sick from the shivering sickness. You gain back all your spell slots like normal.
Do I also get my hit dice that I used?
Yeah, you still get 2 hit dice back as usual from taking a rest.
Okay. I don't feel so good, guys. Ugh. I'm so cold. How can I be so cold in that jungle?
Does he look all warty now, or is he...
Can we tell what's wrong with him, or?
You can make a medicine check.
Yeah, I'll help.
Alright, so you guys look at him, and yeah, he's got some sort of disease. And you can look at him and say, I'm sorry, but I tried to just hope that it wouldn't affect you, but shivering sickness indeed. Insects native to the jungles of Cholt, the marshes of Cholt, carry this disease called shivering sickness. The easiest protection against it is the insect repellent, but it must have been washed off when we were washed ashore. That's what caused them wasps to chase us. It's my fault. I'm sorry, Bryn. I'm not sure of the symptoms, but I think you're going to die.
Is it nothing to do?
No,
No, I can.
I didn't think so. If you want, we can make it quick.
Is there any cure?
Solrak, you know that it's not that bad. Well, if you can remove disease, then maybe you could look to your cleric.
I have a charm of restoration that'll probably do the trick.
Yes, please.
If I need to check and see how that thing works.
So yeah, I'm gonna tell you, it's not to the point where you have to kill the boy.
Oh, yeah, to be honest, I've never really had it myself. I've just heard of it. But what if it's contagious?
Do I know if it is or not?
It's definitely not contagious. You get it from getting bit by an insect.
So I'll just reiterate, it's not contagious.
What if he starts nibbling on one of us?
Yeah, lesser restoration is going to fix that, even.
Okay.
Out of character, how many days has it been since we visited
I have that.
the
I can just
Spirit Naga?
Oh, wait, one at a time. Firstly, Avon, what were you saying?
I have lesser restoration prepared. I can
Yeah.
cast it.
Yeah. Yeah, you could, you'd still, even if you hadn't had it prepared, you would have been able to, like, as you're preparing your spells, you would have discovered these symptoms for Bryn. Alright, so he'll fix you up. You guys, obviously, when someone's sick, you look to your cleric, and Avon can fix him up. Alright, Jasmine, what were you saying?
Thank you, that's much better.
I was saying, out of character, how long has it been since we've seen the Guardian Naga?
I'm not entirely sure. Maybe like 15 days or something.
Yeah, with that magical ring of Featherfall, it was only supposed to last for 10 days.
Oh yeah. Let me check that. From Oralunga, yeah, it's that would have expired by now, unfortunately. Those charms.
Oh,
All right, so yeah, Bryn. Apart from having a terrible sleep and feeling horribly sick, when Avon cures you, you're just instantly better. You feel great.
Enough to also regain all my hit points, or I'm still at that level of yesterday?
Because you finished your long rest already, so you don't. That happens at the end of your long rest. The symptoms manifest.
So I feel much better, but not perfect yet.
Yeah. Just the symptoms though of that shivering sickness go away instantly. With that, you guys can now coat yourself with insect repellent to make sure that this doesn't happen again. And you can see the importance of buying that before you've left Port Nyanzaru. And you've got enough for about another month's worth as well.
Cool. So, do we have enough time for me to have a short rest and use some hit die?
Of course. This is first thing in the morning, and I think it takes people about an hour to prepare spells and get ready.
Right, exactly.
So yeah, plenty of time for that.
You don't need hit dice because it's a long rest.
Sorry?
It's a long rest though, isn't it? So no hit dice.
What? No, did you
It's a
hear anything I just said?
No?
Oh, I want to do a short rest right after the long rest.
Yeah. If you were paying attention to anything that just happened, he just had a disease that he couldn't get any hit points from his rest.
Oh, okay.
Exactly, yeah.
Alright, just try to pay attention. Okay, so, alright, you guys, Bryn can rest up, you can get a bit of healing and whatever you need to do. And then you've had a little holiday here on the beach, but you can't stop. You know that the death curse is affecting all of Faerun, and you need to keep moving. You know where you are on the map, and you're now plotting your next course of action. So, what is that? You're also missing a couple of people. Dragonbait and Orion are both missing still. But you've done your best to search for them and you haven't found any sign of them. You can leave. Hugh suggests leaving some markers on the beach, making an arrow out of sticks to whichever direction you guys are going to go. So if Orion comes across that, then he'll be able to at least try and track you guys down. But you can't stay here.
That sounds like a great idea.
There's a heavy mist today as well. It is thick. It is encroaching along the tree line, and it's going to make navigation a little bit more difficult. You are near the base of a mountain.
It's more difficult to see the arrows as well.
Yeah,
that would. Idea.
That would, but hopefully, the mist isn't going to stick around forever.
Even though I've got an okay survival, no use asking the ranger because she's not feeling the best today.
Okay, so Jasmine says that she's not in the mood for navigating. You do have these mountains here to guide you, so that makes it less difficult to get lost. But what do you guys? You're sitting around. You're getting ready to head off. You're all looking at this map, and
I prepared food and water, just in case. Next time.
Yeah, you can check the weather and see that there's not going to be any rain today, so that highly recommended.
Yeah, good plan.
I'd say we move at a moderate pace, maybe. In this mist, the chances of us getting lost are much higher.
Well, so you're saying that the curse is originating over here, right?
I don't know what awaits us in Omu.
Let's just follow the shore until we get there.
Well, you kind of do know what awaits you. A fallen paladin who is transformed into a Yuan-Ti, who commands all the undead in the region, and is probably responsible for the death curse.
It's probably going to be safer to follow the shoreline, right? Because we're closer to the sea, less insects or T-Rexes.
Yeah, I say we go normal pace because we have some people not feeling well.
Oh, I'm doing much better.
Guys, I've got something to admit to you all. It's about yesterday when I was going to find them stakes and that firewood and whatnot. I found a road, a trail leading through the forest. And it looks like there's some inhabitants. Or someone's made a track. So I was thinking maybe we could follow that. It heads north.
Sounds good to me. I'll give him a wink.
Wait, north? That's the other way we need to go, right?
Look, I think it's quite clear that Hugh wants to go to that mine.
Oh, the mine! I didn't see that! Is that what that thing is? That pick and hammer? Oh, I thought that was a hammering station.
And I agree with you that we should go there, because if we're going up against somebody that can control an undead dragon turtle, I hold up my pilfered scimitar. I think we're going to need to be a little bit better equipped. And hopefully that mine might have an item or two.
Oh my, oh goodness me, I can't believe it. Oh, what a coincidence. It happens to be Wormheart Mine. Oh, I only just realized this just now.
Yeah. If you think the mine has weapons that can help us, then I'm not against.
Well, I didn't know it was Wormheart Mine, so there's probably definitely going to be weapons and stuff in there, but we're going to have to go for a dragon to get them.
And the Neighbour of the Moon.
A dragon? What type of dragon?
A red one. We did see one up here in the mountains that was flying towards the east, I believe, if memory serves me. But on an island this small, I doubt two dragons are going to share the same territory. So I'm going to assume that's the same one. Or on a peninsula this small, I should say.
Very well.
You would never thought there's a dragon, there'll be skeletons outside.
Okay, I've got something else to admit. I knew that this was Wormheart Mine. I know, big surprise, I know.
You don't say.
You said 2 seconds ago this is Wormheart Mine. We know you knew this was Wormheart Mine, you're the one that told us.
Alright, you got me. Listen, I was only hoping that this was to be true, and it is indeed. 40 years ago, the dragon took up its house and home in our mine. We would mine iron, and we were prosperous. We would take it down this trade route, and we would send our wares to Shilku. Shilku's nothing more than a ruin these days. Oh, how times have changed. Perhaps a lifetime for one of you, but 40 years, it still is fresh in my dwarven mind. This road, it will take us straight to the mine. We cannot get lost. And if you can help me reclaim it and drive out that dragon, well, Wormheart Mine is linked to Harakma, a forge, and we would trade with the albino dwarves. I can have you all suited with armor and weapons if you need, as a way of saying thanks. Perhaps there's some treasure in the dragon's hoard as well. You'd be welcome to take it all.
That's actually what I was about to ask, if you're okay with us, if anything that we find that we can keep.
Consider it. I'll, for the dragon's hoard, of course, consider it your payment, but with all due respects, this is my ancestral home, and I can't let you just lay claim to everything.
Sure.
You know what we're going up against. We're just hoping for a bit of an upgrade from the standard steel.
Of course. A lot of it may be not quite sized for you folk, but we'd also we'd craft other weapons and armor, not just for dwarven kind. I'm not sure how much the mine has changed, but if you would.
So yesterday we fought a T-Rex, and now you guys want to fight a dragon? You think that's smart?
Well,
Yeah.
Well,
what we're about to go up against can control an undead sea dragon. So if we're gonna balk at the idea of going up against a dragon, I don't think we should continue this quest.
it's better
Well,
to
I
go.
don't think it's exactly like we're knocking on the doorsteps of Vomu from here.
Yeah, and we're going to go at a normal pace, so we can only get here.
Now, I'm not opposed to going with the dwarf. What he says sounds good.
Look, if you guys need any more convincing, just know that when Orion eventually picks up his trail and all the arrows point towards this mine, he's going to be very upset. Alright? And if that
Upset.
doesn't convince you, I don't know what will.
Upset that we didn't go in? Or that we...
Upset that we went to the mine.
I am fine with going to the mine to get better equipped if we're fighting such a strong foe later on.
If we can, if it will lead to us getting more experience and getting better equipped for what lies ahead of us, then it is the correct move. Nothing's going to be easy. Nothing's going to be easy. Not even following this shoreline.
Jasmine just stays quiet, tightly grasping the handle of her boy.
If the idea is to avoid danger, then we never should be in this godforsaken place in the first begin with.
That's such a beautiful speech. I could cry. So, I can lead us along the trail. I beg ye. Please help me.
Look at Hugh's face. You cannot deny that face.
I've not been able to find any adventurers that would go up against a dragon. And none that are so close. It's a merely a day's journey. And I promise you, you'll be rewarded. I beg ye. From the bottom of my heart.
Yeah, I believe everybody voted mine, so sure.
I'd like to incite him.
Oh yeah, he's pouring his heart out to you guys. You can tell that, yeah. I mean, his entire clan was killed by this dragon. It took his arm. For him to leave now, being so close, possibly having the adventurers needed to drive the dragon out. I mean, it would be devastating for him. He would not be able to live with himself if he'd let this opportunity go.
Like, I can only hope that our travel to the mine gives us the experience we need to face this threat.
Well, you're going to be let down because you don't have any encounters on that one-day journey that it takes you to get to the mine. All right, it's a full day to get there. You're now on day 69. Everyone can take another long rest. You make for camp. And
I need to. I will cast food and water before.
Yeah,
long rest.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you've got enough water. That's no problem at all. And
I'll make a new hut.
Oh, we also do a colour spray. It's day 69.
Tell you the truth, guys, I'm just hoping this dwarf doesn't know the difference between really big lizards and dragons.
okay, you you spend a full day journeying through the jungle, and there's a trail. There's like a dirt trail through the jungle that you can follow, and that leads it must lead all the way to Shilku, as Hugh said. But you're following up towards the mine, and you travel through the morning on the next day as well, and it's extremely warm and dry today. No rain, and all of a sudden you spot something. Some buildings, a shed, and the entrance to a mine shaft.
Oh. Hey, I nudge you.
This is it. I can't believe it. Hugh looks like he's crying basically. And he looks around like he's just been hit with all the memories of what happened here. Sorry, I just need a minute to gather myself. And he just leans against this building. So there's a small building here, and it has walls made of closely fitted stone, with some large windows at the side, and this wide overhanging tile roof. It's overgrown with vines and creepers, and it looks like it hasn't been tended to in quite a while. The structure still looks pretty solid. And then to your right here, there's a building made of closely fitted stone. Also has a tile roof, but this one has no windows. And portions of the wall are crumbling where tree roots are pushing the stones apart. There are gouges and scars showing where someone has tried to hack through the door with axes, but gave up after making little headway. And then over here, you actually see an ore cart sitting on the tracks at the entrance of the mine that's held in place by a block under the wheels. And looking deeper into the mine, you are surprised to actually see some burning torches and sconces hanging from the walls, suggesting that this mine has inhabitants.
See if there's any tracks coming in and out of the mine.
You can make a survival check. It'll take you between 1 to 6 minutes to do that.
I'll check for traps and ask you if any traps are out.
Okay, you can make a perception check to look around for traps.
Yeah, Jasmine just asks you, what are in these two outbuildings here?
He looks up at you like he was lost in some sort of dream. Alright, Solrax are searching for traps. For tracks, sorry. And Yazo, you don't see any hazards in your field of view. And
Okay.
Yeah, Hugh looks at you and says, "Oh, sorry. What? What was that? I missed what you said."
Is there any traps here?
He's talking to Jasmine, not you, Yazo.
Yeah,
Responding to Jasmine's question that she just asked.
yes, he said, what are in these two outhouses here?
Oh, these ones. Office, supply shed.
Yeah, by looks of things, whoever was here before we eventually gone here, they tried to take some supplies just by the state of the door there.
Yeah, but it wouldn't make sense as a dragon has hacked away at the door. It might be, and then Solrak basically finishes Hugh's sentence with kobolds. Because you find several sets of kobold tracks, little draconic lizardy footprints leading in and out of the mine in quite large numbers. We're talking 50.
Yeah, there are quite a few kobold tracks here. It looks like they might be inhabiting the mine with the dragon, or they might be the dragon slaves.
Well, I realize, Hugh, that we probably should have asked you a few questions before we came directly in front of the mine. But among these questions, I feel the two most important ones would be, do you know what age this dragon would be? And if it's possible for you to draw us a crude map of this mine?
The dragon. It was 40 years ago. It was big. I don't really know that much about dragons' ages and things like that. I don't know. It was big, and I'm guessing it got a bit bigger. I really couldn't tell you. Maybe a fully grown one by now. Yeah, if you got some parchment for you, I'll draw the map. If you like. And
Does anybody have?
Oh yeah, someone will have parchment, surely, right? Alright, no one's got parchment by the sound of things.
Well, if you
unless it's in the entertainer's pack, then it might be. Then I might have some.
I think it's Sage? Oh, not Sage. Scholar's pack, maybe? But,
no.
I'll check.
Don't have that.
Entertainers.
Trying to get into the office.
Entertainers pack, yeah, it does not have parchment. Never need a piece of
Nope,
paper.
sorry, no parchment.
Never have a piece of paper when you need one. It's so true.
If only someone was like an anthropologist or something.
What's that? Is that some sort of dinosaur? I don't think we've encountered one of them yet, an anthropologist.
Well, we can always check in one of these buildings if there's paper. And I'm looking through the window of this one.
Okay. You take a look through the window and you can, like, with your height, Solrak, you can easily just look straight through it. And, alright, the window is actually, like, covered with, like, a green kind of mildew and, slime, and there's vines and creepers covering it, and it's so dark and in there that you can't see inside. It's, like, dark and obscured.
Okay, so I'm going to try to see if the door's open.
Alright, the door is swollen shut, and you're gonna have to try and break it down, basically. Force it open.
I'll do that.
Alright, athletics check. And you're tugging at the door, Solrak. It's not opening. It won't budge.
Can I break it down? Like, actual break it, or...?
It's what you tried to do, and you're not able to with your athletics check.
Anybody else want to try?
You're like trying everything in your power, whether you're trying to push it or pull it or shoulder barge it down or whatnot.
Someone want to help the dog?
Alright, the still defender just basically jumps through the door with all of its weight and just busts open the door instantly.
I was gonna say, to Yazai, don't you have thieves' tools or something like that?
Yeah, that's alright.
It was not locked, it's swollen shut. So the wood has become wet and expanded and the doors got stuck, but you don't need it now. The still defenders jump straight through it. And you can peer inside. It's a very small building, and immediately little startled lizards and some birds actually start to flee. They seem to escape out the door and through some holes in the ceiling. And inside, you can see that all of the contents have rotted. There are ledges sitting on a table that have mildewed into slime. There are tables and cabinets covered with creepers. It's full of bird droppings, bones of small animals. There's a couple of wooden stools. And everything's decrepit.
Any useful paper, by chance? By luck, maybe?
It's, it's turned into slime. All the paper is turned into slime.
Oh, there's nothing in here. Let's try the other door.
Alright, so this door is it's looking like it's a pretty heavy door. Someone's tried to hack through it, and you try it and it's a little bit stuck. You can make an athletics check, Solrak.
Terrible again. Dog.
And it's not budging. Stuck.
I hope if the dog can't do this, I don't think anybody can get through the door.
Yeah. Jasmine says, I'm disguising myself as a kobold as he casts.
Doggo's done it.
Doggo's got it.
Alright, you're gonna be a slightly tall kobold, Jasmine.
Oh, yeah.
Can't believe I lost faith in the doggo.
I'll change your token around to look like a kobold. Alright, yeah, Doggo just breaks the entire building down. Almost. I just fix up Jasmine's token so she looks like a kobold. There we go.
You're the one that's got to follow the tracks and lead us there.
Slightly tall kobold. That's what you are. Alright, yeah, the still defender just basically jumps and kind of barges into the door, and the door just splits straight open, breaking off its hinges a little bit. And yeah, this building's quite solid. Like, there's no holes in the ceiling, no animals escape or anything like that. And there are dozens of crates and barrels stacked inside. Some of them actually have been toppled over because the tree roots have grown beneath them.
I'll go ahead and search in here to see if there's anything useful, like paper or anything that we can use.
You don't see any paper. You see crates and barrels.
Let's look through the crates and barrels.
Yep.
What are you looking through, the crates or the barrels?
I'll look through the crates.
All right, the crates.
I'll look as well.
They need to be opened somehow. If someone has a crowbar, you could open them easily, or you'll need something to try and open them.
Is
Nails
there
straight.
is there a
Yeah,
crowbar?
where Jasmine is, you see this lanky kobold rifle through their bag and tosses out a crowbar.
Okay. With the crowbar, and not all the crates have been damaged up, but some of them have, and a couple of them have been spilled over, and you can see like some mining equipment. You start busting open the crates, and the first one you have is full of food. And
Still good?
The rations, the wax is broken. Some of the leather pouches that the rations have been put in have started to split, and unfortunately, none of the food is edible. You keep on busting open more crates, and there are other supplies in here. You find some miner's picks. You find some hammers. You find some nails. You find shovels. There are a few lanterns in one. There's a heap of candles. There's some miners' helmets. There's some spare wheels. Sets of heavy gloves. Some axles. Some brakes. Some components for mine carts. And some rope. Very thick rope. Some brushes. Some brooms. And other supplies for operating a mine. The crates, you can take the lid off. One of the lids is a bit stuck. One of them is full of tepid water, and the one that is a bit stuck will require an athletics check to get off, with advantage if you're using the crowbar.
Okay, I try this again.
Okay, so right. And
Whoa.
you managed to pry the lid off, and the reason why it was stuck is because it's full of tar, thick tar. And there's nothing here that's particularly useful for adventurers. It supplies for running a mine.
Do we find any paper?
There's no paper in here.
The heavy gloves, do they look like they'll fit me?
They are a bit small. Everything's sized for dwarves as well. The helms are like kind of wide. The gloves are pretty small.
I'm gonna take one of the pickaxes just in case if we need to mine something.
Okay.
Shall we take the rope as well?
Yeah, but we could also probably use one of the crate lids and have you draw a map on one of those.
I can
Hopefully it's rough enough.
I could maybe use some of that tar and a brush to paint it onto the wall, I guess.
Yeah. Just
Sure.
fine.
Right. So it's like this. Man, he's not very good at drawing. It's like a big roundy. So we're up here, and he's like pointing to it. And then it goes around, and around, and around, and down. And there's a mine track that goes around the squiggly part. And rooms off to the sides. And down the bottom is fresh water. There's a waterfall.
If we were to assume
That's
here,
good.
would we be assuming the dragon would be at the bottom of this mine? Or is there anywhere else the dragon would prefer to have it stored?
The rooms are all very small, like. I doubt that the dragon would be too comfortable in there. Quite a lot of space down the bottom.
Do you think we need these mine helmets? They pretty much, it's a helmet with a slot for a candle, right?
Yeah, you could fit like a small lantern in there.
So do you think we need light down there?
It's always better to have light. I'm not too fond of seeing everything in black and white and in low light. Especially if there's some tricksy kobolds around.
But they can see us easier as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but I'm sure they wouldn't be working in the dark either. I'm sure they would have the same aversion to just working in black and white.
Well,
Seen.
it's illuminated. You can see you can see torchlight in the mine.
Jasmine just says in a kobold form, well, Asmals can also see in black and white, but if we got a lantern for further down where there ain't no lights, that could also be handy.
Okay. So, is there actually a lantern, or is it just the miner's helmet?
There's heaps of lanterns in there. Lanterns and candles and things like that.
Okay, so I start handing out lanterns and candles and mine hats to everybody.
They're hooded lanterns, and there's the oil's still fine. So if anyone wants a hooded lantern, there's enough for everyone here. If you want one, you can add one to your inventory.
I'll take a hat.
You can take a miner's helmet if you want. He just says, I don't mind you rummaging through all this stuff and using it as long as you promise to return it afterwards.
Of course.
So we got the monster manual we bought from Port Nine Zaru. Can we look up what dragons in it?
Follows guide. Alright, it has kobolds for starters. I don't really think it touches on dragons, unfortunately.
Rolo didn't want to get near dragons.
The closest thing that you can get to is oh yeah, there's a little bit on dragons. Oh no, that's the wrong book. That's Mordenkainen's Tomb of Foes. The closest you get to dragons in Volo's guide is kobolds. There's a section about kobolds being dragon servitors. I'll read it out to you guys. Kobolds believe that they were created by Tiamat from the blood of dragons, a view supported by their reptilian, they would say draconic, appearance. In every kobold tribe, the legend of the creature's origin is passed down from elder to hatchling, giving each individual and every generation a reason to feel pride and self-respect. Kobolds prefer to run away than fight, to live off scraps of others, and they are often dominated by larger humanoids, but they know that there is a greatness within them, and they're proud that they were chosen to be the bloodkin of dragons. Kobolds willingly serve chromatic dragons and worship them as if they were demigods, mighty beings of divine descent. This isn't a casual sort of worship or lip service. Kobolds are awed in the presence of a dragon, as if an actual avatar of a deity were in their presence. They fall over themselves to obey the orders of a dragon, even if they're dangerous orders. Although kobolds don't usually worship Tiamat directly, they recognize her as the dragon goddess of all chromatic dragons, and master of their racial god, Kurtumulak, god of kobolds. So, if there are kobolds in here, they will be sacrificing their life for this dragon, if necessary.
By the way, do we open the barrels as well, or just the crates?
Yep, you open the barrels, tar and tepid water. So,
Okay.
you could boil the water and maybe, or purify it. But other than that, you can't drink it in this state. It might be maybe full of throat leeches, Hugh says.
Right. Uh, this minecart, does it look like it moves?
Make an investigation check. You take a look at it, Solrak, and it's just an ore cart sitting on the tracks. It's held in place by a block under the wheels. Solid metal box. But you recognize, or you discover that one of the axles is broken, and it's not gonna work in this state.
Did this area have? I'm guessing this is a supply area. Did it have like parts to replace it?
It does indeed.
I look at everybody. Anybody know how to fix a minecart?
Yeah, Jasmine looks, well, the lanky kobold looks at Hugh and says, "Oh, well, it is a dwarf contraption, but also if someone knows mending as well, like spell mending."
If you think you can fix it with it, try it.
No. I don't have mending, sorry.
You also feel like the brakes are a little bit dodgy there as well, Solrak, and you feel like there is a chance the brakes may not even work.
Okay, are there? I think you said there were brakes for the cart inside here as well, right?
Yeah. All the parts needed to fix minecarts are in the shed, and who can get to work with that? Yeah, I'm gonna be about an hour trying to fix this.
That's fine. We can start exploring ahead while you're fixing it, and as soon as you're done, you can meet up with us.
Alright.
Let's not explore ahead.
That could work.
Let's go.
If you don't fix the brakes, you can always take a rope, connect it to a pickaxe, and then you just use it as some sort of anchor when you want to stop.
What did you want to say, Milhouse?
That's a good idea. Are you sure you're not part gnome? He says to you, Brit.
Oh,
Given that
I don't think so, but...
Are you sure you're not part kobold then? You seem quite ingenious.
That I'm sure of.
Alright. I'm sold.
it's been 40 years, I wouldn't, even when Hugh does fix this cart, I don't believe we should trust the minecart track all that much.
What are you saying?
He's
These
saying
are
that
forged by dwarves. This steel, it would last 5 centuries before it even buckles or frays.
Yeah, but looking at the state of these doors that the kobolds tried to get into, I don't really believe that they wouldn't have tried to at least do something with the tracks.
Eh. Looks fine to me. Now let me take a look at this cart. Ah, there it is. It's definitely the carburetor. It's always the carburetor.
I'm fine with him fixing it. If with him fixing it, I believe it'll be useful. If you want to wait for him to fix it, that's something else.
Can my dog just heal it?
It's not... It hasn't taken hit points damage, no. It's broken mechanical parts. But who's fixing it? He's starting on that. He said it was going to be an hour. He's got to re-grease the brakes. He's got to change swap over the axle. Apparently he has to fix the carburetor. And
We're going into uncharted territory here. I don't think we should split up at all.
That's fine. If we can wait for him to finish if you want.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
How do we want this cart? Is that what we're waiting on?
Yeah, just in case.
Cart? Just in case what?
For the treasure.
But we
I
haven't.
mean,
even killed-
it's only going to go one direction. We're not going to be riding it back this way. At the very best, we're going to get 2 people in it.
Yeah, the cart, this
I
track
don't
is
understand.
descending, and yeah,
Yeah, we're not going to be pushing it back up.
Well,
And it's
other
going to
push
hurt
up.
us rather than hinder us when it comes to stealthing. Understand the fascination with the cart.
It's a good cart.
My character does not. Oh, it's a marvelous dwarven make. Yes.
Alright, well,
Maybe there's a cart down there anyway.
if you guys are happy to wait the hour, then an hour goes by and that cart is fixed. Ah! She's as good as new! Hugh's got grease all over himself and he takes off these greasy gloves and whatnot. Just throws them on the ground. Yep.
Well,
She's as good as the day she was crafted.
so if we push it from this point, will it just go off on its own?
Oh, aye. It's got a wooden block breaking it though at the moment.
Alright.
There's
So
like
I
there's a
believe our
handle.
best-
There's like a lever for the brakes.
I believe our best bet is to use this card as a distraction. Now, I don't know much about kobolds, but from the what the book says, they're scavengers. So I don't think they're going to be too picky about what they eat. So if we take those spoiled rations we found, put it in the cart, and send it down, it might take some of the kobolds from some of the upper levels away for a couple minutes. And we can take care of some of the stragglers.
Sounds like a plan.
So you're loading up the cart with spoiled food and letting the cart go?
I just think it might distract some of the kobolds. If there are any on the upper levels, they might follow it down to see what's happening. If it doesn't and they all come up here, I mean, this is a pretty good choke point, and it would be pretty easy for us to escape as well if their forces are greater than we expected. Is the jungle thick enough that we can hide underneath its canopy if the dragon tries to see us from above?
Oh yeah, you can't, like, the jungle canopy is... You cannot see through the jungle canopy.
Oh yeah, I reckon that would be our best bet. See what forces they have. If the dragon comes up, we can run back into the jungle. It's a solid choke point as well.
Yep.
Very ingenious plan. Are you sure you're not a kobold or dwarf or whatever?
Alright, so you fill up the minecart with food. And then you take off the block. And then the minecart, push it, and it starts to head down. And it heads on the track and it starts to pick up momentum and it starts speeding along the track. And it goes round and round and round and round and round and round and you wait. And it's like gone now, and eventually everyone hears this tiny little muffled crash. Very far away. It took a good 30 seconds.
Do we hear any movement in the mine?
You make a perception check.
I'm gonna have Dog make it for me, because Dog can hear better than I can.
Him in that crit.
Alright, you guys can hear some subtle sounds. And you look on over into the mine, and sure enough, you see two kobolds with slings in their hands, climbing the tracks, following them up towards you guys.
I'm getting out my crossbow.
Get
Let's
out
not
my
judge
sharp.
it. Let's not approach this with weapons out. let's give her a chance to talk us through.
All right, the kobolds have spotted you guys now because there's light outside. So what do you guys do when the kobolds spot you?
I partly run up to where I am and say in Draconic, "Hey friends, what are you doing here?"
Make a deception check, Jasmine. The kobolds start jumping up and down, pointing in your direction, Jasmine, and they yell out, "Look out behind you! Behind you! Danger! Danger!"
I got along with the parade.
And what does everyone else do?
Look, where?
I lower my crossbow, but I keep it close by.
Alright, Millhouse is gonna walk. I doubt they understand common, but Millhouse will slowly approach.
They scream and they run off. As soon as you start approaching them, they just sprint away. Yelling.
Okay.
People! 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 Yelling at the top of their lungs. They disappear from view.
And at that point, I just drop my form and go back to normal.
Oh. I mean, alright, well, assuming. Should we maintain post at the choke point? Or try to go down?
Jasmine, you made a perception check. You're supposed to make a deception check. I'm not sure if that's any different. What's your deception bonus?
Three.
That's persuasion. Deception. It starts with a D. 3. Okay, so you would have got a 10. No, well, they still believed you. You are at disadvantage too because you're exhaustion. All right, they've run off, and as you guys know, kobolds, well, they would rather run than fight, as it says clearly in Volo's guide. All right, stepping further into the mine, there's actually a shaft of light coming from a hole in the ceiling of this cave. It's like a cave, natural-looking cave. Well, it's been hewn out, and there's like a wooden ramp with the mine carts spiraling around an enormous cave. And there's just a pit here. And you can't see the bottom of the pit. It's just darkness. But who can tell you not to fall off? Because, careful! It's about 250 feet down. Straight down onto the cold, hard ground below you. So 250 foot drop off here. And there seems to be a very...
I still think this is a good idea.
There seems to be like a very stout stone column that dwarfs left as they were chiseling out this mine in the middle to support the roof. So stone column over here, and then there's like a large gaping hole in the ceiling with a little shaft of light, not making its way down too much because of the being obscured by some of the cracks in the walls and whatnot. And there's like a wooden walkway that spans the pit from south to north. Lots of broken planks everywhere. You can see sconces. And you can hear the shuffling of other kobolds as you move around. Now, alright. This area here, like so the track, it goes in a clockwise motion, starting from where Jasmine is. It goes around, and as it's going around, it descends. So this ledge here is like, this track here is 75 feet below where Yazo's standing. It's a 75-foot drop down. And I'll put on the different heights for you guys to see. The wooden walkway, 250-foot drop down to the bottom of the mine, he will tell you.
We could rappel down using rope. But down to levels? Avoid walking around, maybe.
I could just fly down.
Yeah, but that would mean that you're down there with maybe a dragon and a bunch of kobolds.
That is true.
You could lure them back up, and then we take them on when they're up here.
But they already know we're up here, so there's no point in luring.
Yeah, you can see like over in this direction, like there was some like kobolds moving around. And you can hear some yapping and stuff kind of echoing throughout this cave.
I think it's best if we try to clear these kobolds up. That way, it's just the dragon.
Yeah, keep in mind, dragons are very intelligent as well, and you'd be the dragons are never going to fight you guys on your terms. They will only fight you on their terms, where they're comfortable, where they have the advantage.
Which is their later, perhaps, which we're going into.
Unless you've got a very good way to trick a dragon.
Sure.
So
sure
what?
Weapons with the best range.
All right, there's also a lot of missing and broken planks on this walkway. The tracks descend in a clockwise fashion. A little bit of daylight filtering through the mine to create this dim illumination in this area.
Open the barrels.
The barrels are empty. It looks like they probably kept water or something here and it's been drunk or dehydrated.
Well, I'm not sure, but it looks like there's a room over here. Perhaps if we go in that room, it will make it harder for the dragon to come at us, because I don't think it can squeeze 5 foot squares.
When you mention that room, Hugh just like almost falls backwards on this cart. I need a moment. Just go ahead and make sure it's all safe. I'm starting to feel a bit sick in my stomach. I'll leave you to investigate that room.
Why, what's in that room? Or what was in that room?
That's where... oh, the horror. How can I even speak of it?
I think we're gonna find the skeletal arm in there, perhaps.
I've just got... I think there's something off this minecart that I need to fix, and I think I got some grease in my eye. I just need a moment.
There's no minecart there, Hugh.
I'm going to start building another one.
Okay, so you want to head towards that room then? See if we find his arm.
Hugh's not dealing with this flashback very well.
We can reattach it, Hugh. It's okay. It's still good.
It's just a little skeletal. It's still good. It's still good.
As you're moving along the track, it's slowly descending, and like this area here is 50 feet lower than the entrance. You can see a dead end here. There's a sconce illuminating a small cave, and you can see a split in the tracks. But the tracks are, they're going this way. It's just a little side passage here. You can see a set of rough-hewn steps ascending up here, and there is a ledge. It's a 50-foot high ledge up here. You can't see over the top of it. Alright, the rough-hewn steps lead up about 10 feet to an intersection, and then you see more steps leading up into other rooms.
Okay, let's start heading in.
as you guys move up these stairs, you can you notice that the entire area from the bottom of these steps to the backs of these chambers are scorched and black. And there are dozens of charred skeletons littering the chamber. And
Jasmine would say, probably jokingly, just loud enough so Yazza could hear, there may be dwarf skeletons, like saying that sarcastically in a questioning sort of way.
Probably.
Well, it seems like my theory was right. It couldn't probably get in here, so it used its fire.
Man, whatever happened in here really shook you down to the bones.
out of all of the dwarves, I mean, they've been burned and melted by dragon fire. One of them is not charred. It's just a dwarf skeleton, more recent than others. And it's near the base of the steps, like kind of here. And it's face down. Its head down position implies that it died while scrambling down the steps. And he wears half plate. Very fine looking half plate made from a light bluish metal.
Ooh.
Millhouse wants that half plate.
Right where?
I want that as well.
Right here.
I think I can't wear half plate because it's heavy.
It's
I was thinking
medium.
double on that.
Oh, it's medium, then I can wear it.
Yeah, it used to be heavy, now it's medium. It got lighter in 5th edition, apparently.
Does it look like it's? Does it look like it's magical or anything?
It's hard to tell. It looks like it's like pretty much the only thing that survived this fire, or at least this person wasn't killed by what's probably dragon fire. It's in reasonably good condition. It must be quite durable.
Is it a dwarf?
Yep, dwarf sized. So it's only going to fit a dwarf unless it's resized.
Nice. Oh, that's mine then.
Will it fit?
Can you wear
Millhouse?
medium as a rogue?
Yeah, medium armor master.
Oh, you've got that.
I'm wearing,
It's
I'm
made for
wearing
you then.
breastplate.
Will it fit Millhouse as it is?
It would need to be slightly fitted. Supposedly there's a forge around here, so it's not without the realm of
Say-
possibility. But
Feet.
Right. So, yeah, pick it up if you want to try. If you think you can wear it.
I'm
I
gonna
mean,
roll
it's perfect.
initiative.
Ooh.
Somebody went off on their own. Uh-oh.
There's a room over here.
There is. That's not all. Alright, the second that armor is disturbed, Yazo, you
Oh,
look
no.
around to see 6 dwarven specters rise up from the bones. And they have a dwarvish appearance, but they're made of this necrotic light. And they have long spectral beards. They don't really look like your dwarf spectre too much, but you get the idea. Disembodied spirits, and they're coming towards you guys, and they're reaching out with their hands. And I'll remind you guys that you don't want to get touched by these things, because if you lose hit points from these things, then you will never regain those hit points until the death curse is solved. If you lose max hit points, that effect lasts until the death curse is expired. So try not to get hit. That's not all. Avon, you hear something from atop this 50-foot high ledge. There's something scrambling around up there. Alright, Millhouse. You're up.
Well, I see some spooky boys up ahead. So I'm gonna. Where is it? gonna see if I can snake a fireball at the one I can see. That one.
Alright, the firebolt misses. You just hit the wall.
Exact. Alright. And Doggo. Oh. Has enough movement to get. And hopefully he can tank some hits. So I'm just gonna have him sit there and dodge. So I can just remake him you if he dies. Then I will clear the entryway for other people to come out.
Avon, as you're moving along here, you do see an opening in the cave, the side cave, but you can hear some scrambling and some yapping from above. When you look up, it's a 50-foot high sheer cliff face, so you don't see anything up there. But you suspect that kobold's up there.
There's 25. I would tell everybody there's kobolds on that ledge up ahead. If I move myself here. And it looks like entranceway. Got it. And I will do this.
Okay, you hold up your holy symbol and you turn undead against that one.
It's only against one you see. Oh, but
see
I
it
can
or
hear
hear.
the other.
Each undead that can see or hear. Okay.
Basically, if they're in 30 feet, maybe.
Okay. I swear they've changed that. It used to only be C.
I think they did.
They must have updated to here as well. Okay. I'm 99% sure it used to be only C. Okay, they're always changing things. Alright, that should get all of them in that case. And you hold up your holy symbol, try to turn the specters. And they've got 6 wisdom saves. What's your DC?
DC is... just like... It is 15.
Alright, that's going to turn them all. And the spirits start to, well, on their turn, they're going to be like, you know, moving as far away from you as possible.
They're going to get pretty far, considering they can phase through walls.
Well, they don't harm themselves.
Oh, don't get touched by those things.
If they go into a wall, it's going to harm them. What you'll see is them just basically face planting the walls, basically.
As a cleric, I mean, would I think they would come after us if we left this room?
No, like they kind of just, you know, most of these spirits and whatnot, they kind of just haunt the rooms that they're in.
Okay, well then I'll call out to everybody after that. I was like, leave this room quickly.
But that might be limited to the entire mine.
So yeah, deal with them one at a time.
Oh, okay. We can.
You're not sure if it's like just this forge, this workshop that they're limited to, or
That's true.
or the entire mine. Could be either. That you're just guessing, basically. You've got no real way of knowing that. All right.
I will stay in the vicinity to where they come near.
All right. The specter just gets as far away as it can and just goes up against the wall and dodges. Just hovers away quickly. Jasmine.
Yeah, say just shoots arrow over the top of Yarzo to that spectre.
If you do attack them, they do break from their turn as well. I should give them a fright icon too.
See, yet again, One.
I mean, if you do attack them one at a time.
Yeah, they're currently all turned. Oh yeah, if you do damage them, yeah, if you do damage them, it's going to break the turn, and then they'll turn their attention towards you. Oh yeah, as Avon said, you could take a chance and hope that they won't leave this area.
Okay, I will.
Oh, but
Miss. Miss. And a hit. No hunter's mark. But Dread Ambusher, that's force damage, right? For Dread Ambusher.
Yep.
Okay, now you ambush the Spectre with an explosive force arrow. And it resists the arrow, but the force works well. And yeah, you hit it pretty hard. That Spectre's starting to slightly fade away. Yazo.
So do we have the half plate? Is it still on the floor?
It's the second it was touched is when these specters came out. But I mean, if you want to pick it up, you can. If you've
I'll do that. I'll pick it up now.
Okay. You don't have your shield on, right?
No shield.
Okay. Yeah, you can. You pick it up, bones and all. Like there is a skeleton attached to it. Skeleton.
And I can move. And bonus action dash.
Sure.
So about there.
Yeah, that's 55 feet. So you're going to want to be using your action to dash as well.
My bonus action, yeah.
And your action. Because it's 55, right? Your movement with a dash is 50. So, yeah, you'd have to double dash to get that far.
Okay, done it.
Every person you move through costs you 10 feet. You move through 5 people.
And the elves.
Alright, as you run around here, something appears from the ledge. It's a kobold. And this guy's got all sorts of things attached to him. He's like got all these crazy contraptions. He has a vial of acid, a vial of alchemist fire. He has a basket of centipedes. He has a pot with this green slime on it. He has a small jar full of some sort of maggots. He has a scorpion on a stick, a skunk in a cage, and a wasp nest in a bag. And he's going to pick up his green slime pot and he's going to throw it down at you, Yasu. At disadvantage, because he's 50 feet above you. It's not that accurate.
This man is ready for anything.
And it hits. It throws his...
Can I shield if I drop the body?
Yeah, you can cast shield. Alright, as he's throwing this pot down at you, cast shield, and basically green slime just covers the area of your shield and breaks open on impact. So you're not... a patch of green slime covers a randomly determined 5-foot square section of a wall or floor within 5 feet. So you can roll that, Yazo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Roll a 1d8. And this is like the dungeon hazard green slime. It's like almost like a living kind of ooze. Alright, it appears right there. So, green slime. It, yeah, you don't want to step on it, basically. It's not nice. It's just like a weird green blob. I'll put a template on. A marker on for where that is. It's like an acidic green ooze.
Is it living?
It's not a creature, but it's living. It's alive. Ah! The kobold just screeches in frustration as that misses you, and he jumps back, obscured by the ledge. Right, this spectre, it actually moves forward, and it tries to attack Jasmine. It reaches out with its ghostly hands, trying to grab onto her arm, drain the life out of her. And it hits.
Oh, yep, it hits, and I lose that 11.
Oh, you get a con save. You get a con save. You do take 11 points of damage, yes. But you do get a constitution save for that. And you're going to pray that you make that. Okay. So, yeah, you have the life drained out of you. Now, I need to keep track of this hit point loss. So, Jasmine, you've lost 11. So, I hate to say this, but that actually comes off your maximum hit points, and it's permanent for the remainder of the campaign until the death curse is lost. So your new current total and max is 27. And I'll keep track of what you've lost. You can update your new max hit points. Alright, this next spectre just moves away from Avon as far as possible and takes a dodge action. Squeezes into the corner. Bryn.
I yell retreat, and I do so.
On the plus side, Jasmine, you're not actually injured because your max hit points has gone down. Alright, you move back, Bryn, and 10, 20, 25. Do you take an action?
No. No, I'll stay close to the rest of the party, but
Okay.
I won't take an action.
Default will be dodge then. So at least if something's going to hit you, there'll be a disadvantage. Alright, now the spectre moves away from Avon and dodges. And another kobold appears at the top of the ledge and screeches at Yazo. And this guy is going to throw down a basket. No, that's too far. 50 foot down. He's going to throw just a vial of acid at you. Hurls a flask of acid at you, Yasu. Disadvantage. And he throws it straight over your head and it goes down the mine shaft. He yaps a little bit and hides behind the ledge. He's
Probably cursing and draconic.
He's not really saying anything. He's just kind of yipping as they do, making noises in frustration. Yeah, basically just throwing random shit at you from above Yazu. Alright, another spectre just moves into the corner and dodges. Solrak.
Right, so since I can't really get in there, I'm gonna start backing out. So that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I don't see the kobolds up here, right?
No, the ledge is 50 feet above you guys, so it's as if they're standing on the roof of a 5-story building.
Right, so I will go ahead and dodge.
Okay. Alright, another spectre just moves as far away as it can from Avon and hits a wall and dodges. Millhouse.
Alright, seems like everybody's just backing up. So I'm gonna wait for another kobold to come out and I'm gonna chuck a firebolt at it.
Okay. Cast firebolt on your hand, and just before you release it, you hold it with concentration, training your vision on the top of that ledge, getting ready to roast some lizard.
And can dog attack the one that's by Jasmine?
Yep.
The spectre?
Yeah, it's right next to
Can't
it.
really see him from where I am.
Right, got him. I'm right next to him, real house. And he misses.
I'm just gonna take. Millhouse is gonna use a little bit of his movement. Okay, so I could have deflected that attack.
I'm Rory, Sonic says.
This is the one that's not turned.
Yeah.
To hit him with a sacred flame.
A holy fire falls down from above. And the spectre very quickly moves out of the way of that. It splashes onto
shit.
the stone floor.
Ooh. Damn. Things are fast. If they're after the armor, we haven't done any good.
The spectre continues dodging and it's hit a wall. Jasmine.
Jasmine's feeling a little bit cocky and invites another one to the party.
Other one?
Sorry, which one are you attacking? Alright, you mean invite another one to yourself. That's a hit.
Much.
And you can roll damage. There's no Hunter's Mark. It hits the spectre, and now that spectre is no longer turned. And it turns its attention towards you.
And same again to the one next to it on the left.
Okay, you are attacking at disadvantage. And, well, it's a crit.
Oh.
Alright, you hit that spectre. And
Right.
it's no longer turned. And it turns its attention towards you as well, Jasmine. The arrows are not doing too much to them because they're resisting it. Yazo.
Can I take the arm off the body?
Not in one turn. You can do it. It's going to take you about 5 minutes.
Okay. Okay, so I'll drag the body this way then.
Yeah, you're not going to have any use for that armor in combat. It takes like 5 minutes to. You have to take off your armor and put on your other armor.
I'm just going to get over here. So that's quite a lot of movement, so that's probably my turn. Hello?
Yeah. Well, it's your character. You tell me what happens.
Okay, so I'll just drag him. I'll just drag the body over here. It's bigger dwarf. It takes me quite a long time.
Okay. And you just used what, your bonus action to dash or your action to dash?
If I got my action still, I'll dodge.
Well, you don't count your movement. It's
No, I think that's all of it. So I don't think I got my action.
okay. Well, each square is 5 feet, so you need to count your movement. All right, you can just use your action to dash then. All right, this kobold is going to run up here to the edge, and he's got something in his hand ready to throw down. And Millhouse, you've got your reaction. He's got half cover from the ledge. It misses him. He dodges to the side as the fire splashes onto the top of the ledge. And he has in his hand a vial of alchemist fire, and he's going to throw it down at you, Millhouse. Oh, actually, it doesn't even have the. You can't even do that. He's going to.
He's gonna have a cry.
He's going to use his sling at disadvantage. He's going to pull out a sling and hurl a little rock at you. And it misses you, and then he jumps back. This spectre attacks a still defender. And it's hit for 11 necrotic damage.
I cannot see it. Can you please take the damage off it?
Sure. It kind of rusted a little bit. Alright, now the spectre is turned. Bryn.
With my crossbow, could I reach the ledge?
Yeah, you can.
Normal range.
It's a light crossbow, right? Yeah, I think it's like 80
Yes,
feet.
80.
Yeah, it's only
Yeah.
50 feet away. So.
Right, I can back up a little and then still prepare an action to shoot anything that appears up there. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll move a bit back and I ready that action.
Alright, this spectre just explodes towards Jasmine. Goes straight through the rock, comes around behind her and tries to grab her. And it misses. Alright, another kobold shows himself. And Bryn, you've got your ready action. You see the kobold, same thing, half cover. And that hits him.
Cool.
He screeches as the arrow or the bolt sticks straight into his torso, and he looks very badly injured. He's gonna fling his sling at you in response at disadvantage.
Fair enough.
And a little rock boops you for 3 bludgeoning damage.
Ouch.
And then he runs off. Alright, another spectre comes in at you, Jasmine. And it's gonna just move straight through the wall into the still defender's space, hovering above it. And it's gonna attack you. It's gonna reach out with its ghostly hands. Alright, Doggo gets in the way and deflects the attack, but it still hits. And Jasmine, you need to make another Constitution saving throw.
Oh,
Alright, you're life drained again, and you lose 6 hit points from your maximum and current. And you're feeling deathly ill. If you reduce to 0, then that kills you. Soul Rack.
Right, so let's see here, because it looks like we're running away.
move
Let's-
over here.
that would be 15, 20. I'm gonna take out my bow and shoot at the specter.
Okay, it's got 3/4 cover. It's a miss, you just hit the wall, like over here.
Okay, so second shot at it.
And
that will-
yeah, that's kind of just hits the ground.
And roll all of a sudden.
That was 20 that I moved, so move over here so I can get better aim at it.
Alright, now the Spectre is still turned from Avon and tries to get as far away from him as possible. Millhouse.
First thing, I'm gonna yell out to Yazo, do not take that body any further. He was not in the right state of mind for you to start looting his comrades in front of him.
Try to start stripping it here.
Hey, you can clearly see you from over there too.
I'm rescuing him.
Fair enough.
I really don't want those specters anywhere near me.
About to find out if they can come out of this hole or not.
I'm going to assume yes, but I'm going to launch a firebolt at that one.
Okay, half cover for that one.
I was hoping it wouldn't have cover. Or is it?
Yeah, you got like all this wall in the way. It hits, and the fire is not very effective. It resists the damage, crackling away a little bit.
He doesn't even know why he's trying to help Jasmine after she attracted them all towards us.
Yeah. Jasmine has a death wish. Else we can.
That's too close to the edge. Milhouse is not go there. And Doggo will attack the closest one to him.
Sure. It's got one
We'll take
that's looking pretty hurt.
That one then.
And Doggo misses. Haven.
Goes to the edge here. Okay.
Alright, you drop a Sacred Flame on that Spectre. And good thing about Sacred Flame, it ignores all cover. And that Spectre just burns down until it disappears. Vanquished. Another Spectre is still turned. Jasmine, you're up.
I cast Hunter's Mark on the hurt one and take out my short sword and swing at it.
Hit. The blade itself does very little as it resists the damage. You've also got the 1d6 from Hunter's Mark. You only just glance the Spectre with the first attack. Second attack hits. And you stab into it and it's almost destroyed. It's just hanging on by a thread. It's basically completely translucent at this stage. Yazo.
So I'm going to go back in. The one northerly, is that the hurt one?
Not really looking that hurt.
Does it look hurt at all?
Slightly. It's been attacked.
Don't know, I got 10 piercing damage on it.
I used Toll the Dead, and it does not affect the Spectre in any way. It's immune to necrotic, as far as you can tell.
Okay, so bonus action, dash back again.
Alright, this kobold comes in for another boop, and he's going to sling a rock at Avon. Disadvantage. He completely misses. He backs up. The almost destroyed Spectre that Jasmine just attacked, he's going to attack Jasmine back. And it's a hit. Make a Constitution save, Jasmine.
Come on, Jasmine. Yeah.
Alright, this does not come off your max hit points this time. You take 10 points of necrotic damage. Spectre ends there. Another one's turn still. Ren.
Well, I yell again, let's leave, and I go back a little further. I guess I will still be in range for the ledge, so I'll keep my crossbow pointed at it.
Okay. You get
Yep,
ready to
that's
get
it.
the next kobold. There's still one up there. The other one hasn't showed itself though. You think maybe scared it off before that other bolt. Okay, this Spectre is going to attack Jasmine. Reaching out with his necrotic hands. And Doggo jumps in the way and knocks the Spectre awry. The attack misses. Good boy. Good boy. Solrak.
Right, so I don't see any of them in my line of sight right now. So that's 10, 15. I can see a bit of that one now, so I'm going to shoot at that one.
Okay. So 3/4 cover.
I'm not sure if it's disadvantage.
That's
Let me-
oh, you mean for the range? That's a good question.
70 feet. What's for a short bow again?
80. You're good. And that's a hit. An arrow glances the spectre, breaking through some of the energy that animates it.
And I will try to shoot it again.
That's a hit. And you diminish the spectre a little bit more. Millhouse.
Millhouse is back at it. Well, I can see that kobold up there. So I'm gonna launch a firebolt at it.
You can't see any. Wait, where? You can't see. Is he? You can't see him. If he's in that space, something must be glitched out, but he's not visible.
Okay. Millhouse cannot see the kobold.
He's up in this space. You can ready it though. You know he's going to be back.
Yeah, first I'm gonna slap the body out of Yazo's hands.
What?
Don't start looting in front of you, you monster.
As I've dwarven artifacts.
He's saving it. He's giving the dwarf a proper burial.
Now, I see that greedy gleam in his eye. So yeah, I'll prepare that action.
Alright.
And Doggo will attack the most damaged one.
Okay, yeah, it's got one that's almost destroyed. And he tried.
Remain that way.
He tried.
Alright, I've moved out of range, so I guess that held action doesn't count anymore.
I am going to.
The dog's supposed to go at the end of your turn, so if the dog's taken his turn, you can't move anymore.
Okay.
So you're gonna have to go back there, Millhouse. Avon.
I am going to ready a longbow shot at the cobalt that sticks its head over that ledge.
Okay.
And that's it. Wish I could help Jasmine, but
Alright, Jasmine, you're off.
Yep, still attacking the one that is nearly whisked away.
Hit. That spectre is gone. You push the short sword through it, and the dwarven image of that spectre completely vanishes.
Alright, bonus action. Well, I'll attack, but also I shift the Hunter's Mark to the other one next
Hunter's
to me.
Mark has to be on the subsequent turn, so next turn.
Well then, short sword one next to me.
Hit. Did you want to draw your other short sword instead to do 2-weapon fighting?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll say that you drew your other short sword before that attack, so you can do 2-weapon fighting.
That's
So you can make an attack as a bonus action. That's a hit. And the spectre's looking like it's starting to get destroyed. Yazo.
So we kill the spectres, then we take the armor off the body.
Come to the base of the stairs, and looking up, you see one spectre visible.
Can I sort of dip in and out to sort of do the hide and then shoot?
Yeah, you could attempt to hide, come like sneaking around the corner. That's possible. The spectre's not really looking down here. He's kind of just paying attention to Jasmine at the moment. So you can use your bonus action to hide. Oh, well, you've attacked now, so that's a miss.
Oh, I did use my bonus action to hide it. Oh,
No.
so you mean roll a stealth check? Oh.
Yeah, hide's a stealth check.
Can I do it now in between? So I got...
You can hide now after your attack, but you've just rolled your attack,
Yeah.
so...
No, I'll hide now for next turn.
Sure. That's a stealth check to hide. You don't just automatically hide. You make a stealth check, and it's contested against their passive perception.
Ooh.
Alright, you're hidden. Alright, this kobold comes around the top of the ledge, and everyone that had a ready action, you can unleash.
Oh.
Your bow completely misses even. Didn't you not have a shield in your hand, Avon?
And sometimes I do, sometimes I don't really.
Well, you either
Yes,
did or you did.
I guess I probably would. I guess I probably would have.
Okay, well you can't use a longbow if you have a shield in your hand.
Right.
If you've just turned undead, holding up your holy symbol, usually it's on your shield.
It is.
But if you want to swap
I
it,
didn't even think about that.
it takes a full action to swap. You can't just swap. Alright, that kobold's gone anyway. The arrow and the fire just incinerated. Falls off the ledge, dead.
Into his slime.
Bryn. We're gonna have to wrap up the session in a very quickly now too, in like the next minute. So we've got 1 minute left.
Yeah.
We might have to end in the middle of combat.
Street to the choke point.
Yeah. That's what I'm gonna do. That's about here, I guess. Me. I can dash. Anyway, so I'll go out completely.
Alright, heading towards the exit.
To the point. The spectre.
Alright, we'll do the Spectre's turn. We'll take it to the end of this combat round. The Spectre reaches out to Jasmine. And it's a miss. Solrak.
Right, so before I start moving out, I'm going to shoot my twice at the Spectre.
It's a miss. Miss. Hit the wall.
And with that, I will start moving out.
Okay.
That's 35, 40.
Alright, with that, we're out of time, so we're gonna have to wrap it up now.
Oh, wrapping up too close to the specters for me.
And we'll start off here
How
in the middle of this fight next week. Before we go though, did you have a backup character, Jasmine? Did you make one yet?
Yeah, I just made a couple just in case.
Do you have one on Roll20?
Yeah, I got both of them on Roll20.
Which one is yours?
James and Bob.
Okay, sweet. James and Bob. I like the names. Alright, cool. Just in case, because there is a possibility that the Spectre might get you, but it's looking pretty good though. And Rainier, I know it's late for you. I'm gonna give you a character sheet because you don't have a backup one. Not that I'm saying that you're gonna die, but you do need to have one.
Yeah, I was thinking that would be a good idea.
So,
There's always a possibility.
yeah, I'll give you a sheet, and then if you want to make a character whenever you get time, go for it. It's in there for you now. And
thanks.
alright, I'll give you guys the experience now too. before we go. So we don't forget that. That's for this encounter too. It's 410. And also, I think you guys are very close to leveling up. So go ahead and level up to level 6. You won't have the experience needed for it, but you're very close, so you can gain that experience. If you do use the character mancer, make sure you track your hit points and your spell slots, because it will fill everything up, and you need to just track out how much resources you've used. Not that you guys have used that much so far, but go ahead and level up to level 6. I'll send out a reminder for our friend Orion too, and I'm guessing he's going to come and find you guys at the start of the next session too. So everyone, take care. Thank you guys very much. Good night, everyone who's late, and have a good weekend for everyone else. Bye bye.